5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to episode 248 of the Thumbstick Athletes Podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Thanks for enunciating, guys. I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Wool.
Wool.
That was our running joke the whole week. It was stuff. Today's episode, Dark Souls 3. I know we talked about it a little bit after the end of last week's episode, but we're going to get into depth about it this week. Anyone have anything you want to tease?
Yeah,
I do, Dan.
Let's hear it.
Me first?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I go first? Overwatch.
That's
like
what
the
I
main
wanted
thing.
to tease too.
So that's about all I played that was new.
I wanted to talk more about Ratchet and Clank as well,
Okay.
and an audio book that I got.
Nice.
Lords of the Sith, Star Wars.
Cool.
So I've been digging that on my ride to and from work. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah.
It's nice. I've actually I've really enjoyed audiobooks lately.
Yeah, it's great. So with all the driving I've been doing, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, because even podcasts, it's even the long ones are short form, so it's nice to have a story that you can look forward to, whenever you sit back down and start listening again.
Exactly.
Okay, Corey, anything you want to tease?
Nah, not much of a tease today, Dan. Unless you want me to tease the 40 hours of Dark Souls 2 I played in the last week and a half.
Nope, but we'll be getting to that. I also didn't play anything other than Dark Souls. I had a really busy weekend and week, so other than Dark Souls 3, and not as much as I wanted to play either. Yeah, that's all I played. All right, well, let's get right into it, shall we? So, Corey, you said you played about 40 hours. How much did you play, Eric?
I played a total of 2.5 hours and threw in the towel.
Oh, you're done.
Yep.
Dunsky.
Hmm.
Okay.
I didn't want to tell you guys. I wanted it to be a surprise.
What?
I was wondering, Eric, because normally you ask a lot of questions when you're playing these
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of games.
usually pretty vocal when I play games, and I get excited, so I tell you guys about it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and you hadn't said. I was actually just thinking about that when I was walking the dog. I'm like, Eric hasn't really talked about Dark Souls. I wonder.
Yeah, I threw in the towel.
The only hint you gave was you said something like it's hard to get back into the. How did you word it? It's hard to.
I wasn't
Get
in the right mind frame.
Mindset. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mind frame for
But
it.
you guys talk about it, and I'll talk about my time later.
Okay. Yeah, I've put about 25 hours into Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3, which again is not as much as I would have liked, but as much as I could possibly get to. Every spare few minutes I had, I would try to pop on and play what I could. So, well, let's first start with the story.
Huh?
Yeah, I felt like we should cover it because apparently, and this has never been something I've paid much attention to, but the Dark Souls universe has really cool lore, and the stories are actually kind of really good. They're just not there right in front of you, It's kind of conversations that you have with other characters in the game and hidden stuff that you pick up on the lore. Really, the star of the game is the setting and the difficulty of it. But yeah, apparently in this one you are tasked with finding and killing the Lords of Cinder. Why, I don't really know. I just know that that's what you're supposed to do.
Great
Is that your
summary of the story, Dan.
Yeah, that's tell me or explain it like I'm 5 version of the Dark Souls 3 story.
Huh. Yeah. No. Yep. Sure.
That's about it.
Yeah. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I know it takes place after the first Dark Souls.
Okay.
A long time after.
Oh, is it? I wasn't even aware of that.
I believe it is a long time afterwards.
Okay. That's cool. Do you know where Dark Souls 2 takes place in the storyline?
Nope.
No.
Not a clue.
It's a sequel to the first one.
Is it a direct sequel?
Yep.
Or are you just being sarcastic?
I'd imagine.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna
Usually-
look while you guys are talking.
Usually
Okay.
the second game is a sequel and the third game is a prequel.
Fair enough.
That's how it
Okay.
works sometimes.
Yeah. So let's talk about combat first. So the combat, if you've played a Souls game before, it's very slow, very methodical, punishing but not unfair is how I would describe it. And like you think of other action like RPGs, games like Bayonetta or DMC, Devil May Cry, like those games are all really, really fast. And if you go into a Dark Souls game with that kind of mindset, you're gonna have a bad time. Because even like my build, which is built to be aggressive and attack, I can still like hit maybe 4 or 5 times in a row before I need to back off, and that's expending all my endurance, meaning I can't block or do a dodge. So you really can't just mash on the old attack buttons like you can in a lot of other action RPGs.
No, sir. It's not that kind of game.
Yeah. A lot of different weapons you can use too. What's your build like nowadays, Corey? Now that you're about 40 hours in, have you changed anything up?
Yeah, as of last week, I had been pumping a bunch of points into dexterity and health, and that kind of did me pretty well early on in the game. But later on in the game, I didn't have my character had no balls. Like he couldn't do enough damage, and he couldn't take enough damage to really stand up to anybody. So as it turns out, like all the Dark Souls games, the attributes have soft caps. And what that means is once you level up an attribute to a certain point, you start losing the benefits of putting more points into it. So for dexterity, it's 40. So when I hit level 40 dexterity, I started putting my points into strength. So now my strength is really high, so now I can do a bunch of damage. So what I do now is I do all sorts of different things depending on the situation. I carry a ton of armor with me at all times and just swap in and out depending on the situation, depending on what the enemy has for an attack. If it's fire, if it's magic, if it's dark, whatever, I put the corresponding armor on. And then for my weapons, I have 4 weapons that I've been regularly leveling up. And the one I use the most is the scimitar. And I hold it in 2 hands and wear heavy armor and use the special attack, which is like a spinny, jumpy thing, and you can combo it with the other trigger to do like a follow-up to that spinny, jumpy attack. And it seems to work pretty well, especially in PvP. It catches people off guard because they block that initial spin, and then they expect to be able to counter there, but they can't because my combo continues, and it does because my strength is so high. It does enough damage that they are severely wounded, gravely wounded. Yeah, and the dexterity helps because you can, depending on what weapon you use, it ties to a corresponding attribute, and the scimitar has an A ranking for dexterity, so dexterity will influence it at the A level, which is the second highest. S is the highest level. So that's what I've been going with. I've also been leveling up the whip, which is really good for area of effect. If you have
Is that an offhand weapon, or can you use it as a primary weapon?
If you use it as your primary weapon and you do the power attack, it is like a wide loop in front of you, and it does a ton of damage to like a bunch of weaker creatures, like those slugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take them out pretty easily with that whip. Just keep them all in front of me and keep using the power attack. And then I've been leveling up a couple different spears, but I'm not in love with the spears. But I did the twin daggers for a certain boss battle and added the bleed effect to the twin daggers so you could dual wield and hit this particular boss a bunch of times and then get the bleed damage bonus. And then I've been leveling up the what's it called? The great bow, the Dragon Slayer bow.
Oh, you got that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is awesome for PvP, which I'll talk a little bit about later.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm kind of the same in the same boat as I was last week. I am still completely light armor. My whole build is based around avoiding getting hit. Period. So I try to keep my armor light. I try to keep my weapons light. I do a lot of dodging, a lot of rolling. I do occasionally have a shield, especially when I'm fighting like faster guys, like those little thrall guys.
Yeah.
That like to attack really fast. If I have them coming up, I'll hold my shield, but otherwise it's a sword in 2 hands. Whoa, Fiona. So yeah, I got one fire damage sword, and then I just actually got a great sword that I carry in two hands. That I use that and my shield sometimes, depending. But yeah, Corey, I was just saying I just got a great sword. So I'll use a two-handed great sword. Sometimes I'll use that with the shield too, but that's my area of effect thing because that does wide arcs when I attack too. So
Nice.
but if I'm only fighting one guy, I have just a like a shorter sword. I think it's like the Lothric sword.
Okay.
They've upgraded a bunch and put fire damage on. So like I said, if I'm fighting faster enemies, I'll use my shield. But otherwise, if it's one guy or bigger enemies, I'll two-hand my sword and dodge as much as possible.
Yeah. One thing, I didn't like it at first, but one thing I really like about all the weapons and armor is that they're all pretty much on a level playing field. The base stat of them, and each one just does something a little bit differently. And you can take that and use that as what makes it special. And then for the weapons, you can level up and do whatever you want to with the gems. Like you said, you added fire damage to your sword.
Fire.
So for my whip, I added the sharp gem, which increases the ranking for dexterity on it. So it was like a B rank or something, or maybe it was a C rank. And then by putting the sharp gem on it, it became a B rank dexterity weapon, which means the dexterity damage bonus was higher.
Nice.
So you can use that. You can take any weapon really and try and insert it into your build depending on however it fits.
You can craft it into fitting for your character.
Exactly.
And I just got a bow that I'm going to use for jank. You know.
Which one?
It's just a crappy bow.
Oh, okay.
It's not anything good.
Yeah.
I just have it to like hit stuff that's up on the roof, like if it, that's something that's going to pop down on you, or to attract an enemy from far away that I want to shoot and draw out from a crowd or whatever.
To pull, to use a MMO term.
Yep, for pulling, because that stuff's all important in the Dark Souls games.
Or shooting a dragon in the tail from a mile away.
I tried that in Dark Souls, and not only was it hard to hit, but it would have taken like 1,000 arrows, I think, to.
Yep. It's
But
funny you
anyway.
say that because I've recently been playing Dark Souls and I finally did that, and it is kind of specific what you have to do. It's only like 30 arrows, but at the beginning of the game like that, it might as well be 1,000 because of the situation that you're in. But yeah,
Playing this once makes me want to go back and play the original Dark Souls again.
Oh yeah,
Which I might because I never beat it. Like I never even got that far.
Yep.
I beat Dark Souls 2, but maybe I'll revisit it once I beat Dark Souls 3.
I got to the duo, and remember I couldn't beat the Ornstein and
Hornstein and Smog.
I thought about that this week, Corey, because of one of my nibble bits we'll get to later.
All right. There's actually. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's flashbacks to that. Kind of a spoiler to that in Dark Souls 3, though, that specific battle and those characters. There's a lot of that kind of stuff though throughout the game.
Yeah. Which is nice. All right, let's talk about the landmass and exploration a little bit. Dark Souls one of the things it does really well is rewards you for exploration and trying to go off the beaten path a little bit and looking around corners, rolling through barrels and stuff. There's illusionary walls or whatever, and then like a lot of times off cliffs there'll be something there that if you're not looking for it, or if you're not reading the signs that are on the ground of someone pointing in the right direction, you'll miss that stuff. So
you do that
that
thing
is one of the things that I like about Dark Souls.
You do that thing where you walk up to the edge of the cliff and like pan the camera around and also like turn your head as if that's gonna help, trying to see down the side of the cliff if there's a
peek down the cliff.
Yeah,
like it's VR.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
That would be all right. But yeah, like when the game first launched, I think right off the bat, in order to troll noobs, someone put treasure, try rolling, like off the cliff. But there was a bunch of blood stains like around it of people trying to roll off the cliff and dying. People who didn't know you should probably look before you try to roll off the cliff. It's good stuff. Because there is plenty of rolling stuff. We'll talk about the messages in a second, but
okay, go ahead.
What did you think about the places you've been to in Dark Souls 3, Corey? I know you weren't as much of a fan of the setting and stuff in Dark Souls 2 as you were Dark Souls 1. How did you feel about Dark Souls 3?
I think it's all really good, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, especially in Dark Souls 1, was just how new everything felt. And I'm not saying this one, in terms of setting and scenery, is bad. I mean, it's gorgeous to look at, and they do a lot of different things. But it's like you can only have like your first, I don't know, slice of pizza once, and then after that, like it's still really good, but
yeah,
you know, I don't know how else to phrase it.
yeah.
I think that was good.
Okay.
That was.
It's really good, and I think what makes Dark Souls so great is the art. And we talked a little bit about this last week, but the monster design and like the architecture and stuff like that, and the game really benefits from the type of gameplay that it is, because it slows you down enough to really appreciate that stuff. Where you're like you're parrying off to an enemy. It's not like most video games where you're just like bolting through everything and leaving a wake of destruction behind you. It's like you really have to slow down and think about what you're doing, and in doing so, you're able to appreciate the artistry that went into the game. Because I honestly think that's the best part of Dark Souls is the art.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like you have to look ahead to where you're going to go, and try and use the landmass or whatever you happen to be in to your advantage.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I was a couple nights ago. There's a type of enemy we'll talk about, but a type of enemy I have a lot of trouble with. And there was a bunch of these like on a rafter or on rafters in the cathedral. And rather than fight them, I just ran around and waited for them to fall off the rafters and die. Like, you know, I felt rewarded for using that strategy to my advantage, you know?
Sure. And they expect you to do that in this
game. Yeah, exactly.
Too.
Yep. Or ducking behind a pillar to block a sword blow from someone who's attacking you, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of have to use that to your advantage if you want to, you know, be successful, I guess.
I just didn't feel like this one was like as architecturally interesting, and the whole like world design as a whole, I don't feel like it flowed as well as in the first Dark Souls.
Okay.
But that's just me.
What about compared to 2?
I liked 2 just because how interconnected it was.
Right.
But specific areas and stuff, I remember very little of 2.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think it's probably because it's one of those games that I played in like 1 week,
and then was done.
Haven't touched it since, even though I liked it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, another part of exploration, and it's a really important part, is as a player, you can put messages down on the ground for other people to read. You can warn them about enemies that are coming up, tell them where there's treasure, like around the corner. There's troll ones too. A lot of times they'll tell you when there's a nice view coming up, so there's that. And then there's also blood stains that you can also find on the ground. And what you do is if you click on those will show you where someone died and how they died. You can only see like a red outline of them, but you can see like, oh, they ran forward and drew those enemies in, and like, you know, got murdered or whatever, or they rolled off the cliff. That sort of stuff. So that's really cool and a really useful tool to kind of plan out your plan of attack.
And it's nice because you have that it's quiet, a little too quiet moment, and you look on the ground and you can see blood stains. And I actually found a trap by doing that I wouldn't have known was there.
Oh, there you go.
This is eerie. And then I pressed on the blood stain, and the person ran a little bit further ahead from where I was and got hit by an arrow that was like a trap.
Yep.
Killed them.
It's good stuff. And again, the useful tools in your Dark Souls arsenal to help you get through. And then, like I said, you know, there's the whole player thing with them leaving messages for you for treasure. I find the ambush ones particularly useful. A lot of times they'll warn if an ambush is coming, so you know you run into a corner to pick up a treasure, but you know that you're going to get pounced on from behind from an enemy coming from up above or down below.
Yep.
Very useful.
Or the mimic chests. You know, people will.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because I did fight one of those. Luckily, I was warned about it because, as you know, I think we talked about this when Dark Souls 2 came out. As a gamer, you're trained to just, oh, hey, a treasure chest, and run up to it and open it. But you got to be a little more careful in Dark Souls. Because I came across one that was a mimic and one that was an actual treasure chest.
Yep. Rule of thumb is just to always attack it when you go up to it. Start by attacking it.
Yep, give it a smack first.
Just before we move on from the messages, though, I mistakenly thought the appraisals, the ratings on every message, were upvotes, but they're not. It's upvotes or downvotes.
Okay. How many people commented on it, I guess.
So you don't really know if it's a troll or not.
Yes. Remember last week when I was talking about that wall that somebody put a message in front of?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I said that it had been rated 1,400 times?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that was the case. I went back and I saw, oh, well, shit, I don't know if it was rated poorly or good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I gave it a bad rating, the bastard.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until just recently. It's just the amount of votes, not good or bad.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
They used to show you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Of all the ones that have warned me of an illusionary wall, only one. Probably 10 warnings of an illusion wall, and only one being an actual illusion wall.
Yeah, that's
which is
not
frustrating. Cool. Yeah, just people being trolls.
Who does that? Who wants to ruin someone's day like that?
I don't.
Or
know.
you remember my story from Bloodborne, where the guy put a note down to look in the corner, and when you did that, you got stuck in the corner.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Bastard. So I had to use like I can't remember what it was, like a homeward bone or whatever, to go back to a bonfire.
As a troll, though, you don't even get to see the fruits of your labor.
That guy did because it was like a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
I googled it. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
It was an internet urban legend type of thing, you know?
Probably Lizard Squad.
Lizard Squad.
Trolling Bloodborne.
So let's move on to multiplayer. So the multiplayer aspect, again, is a very interesting aspect of the game. So the way it works is towards the beginning of the game, you buy what's called a soapstone. And wherever you want, pretty much, you can lay down that soapstone. And if someone else in another world comes across your soapstone, they can click on it and summon you into their world. Now, you can only summon someone into your world, for the most part, if you're Ember.
Yes.
Is that right, Corey?
Yes.
It's been different in every Souls game. It was different from 1 and 2, the way that whole thing works. But yeah, if you die, essentially you lose your Ember. There's items that you can use to get your Ember back, or you can help another player kill a boss, and that'll get you your Ember back. And then you can summon someone to come help you. Now there is red ones that will pop up occasionally, and that's just like a player versus player thing. Like someone will put down the red soapstone, and you can summon those into your world if you are not embered, if you had been dead. So covenants too. I know that plays somehow into the player versus player, but I'm not really sure how exactly all that works. Because I think, again, that's a little bit different than it was in Dark Souls 2, right?
Yeah, the way I understand it is depending on what covenant you are in, you earn a certain type of reward for a PvP kill. Mm-hmm. And you give that award to your covenant person or whatever, and they, in turn, give you items.
Okay.
For doing that. Beyond that, I haven't really figured it out.
Yeah.
I was listening to Giant Bomb today, and they were talking about Dark Souls, and apparently if you join certain covenants, some characters in the game won't talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're part of a different one. I thought that was kind of cool.
I had one leave my the cathedral you're in. Because I had switched to a different one, and they didn't like that. They said if we meet again out in the wild, we're going to be enemies. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Kick his
again,
ass, Dan.
again, that's cool. Because you just never know. A lot of mysterious characters in the game, which is also very, very neat.
Well, and
Dan, why did you turn heel on your Covenant?
I actually didn't know that I had done it.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of an accident. I was just like, well, I'll just roll with this for now. I was Warriors of the Sun initially, and then I switched to another one just because I can't remember what it's called. The Fingers one, Corey?
Yeah, Rosaria.
Yeah, Rosaria, where you respec your...
That's the one I spent the most time with, getting the pale tongues.
Yep, pale tongues. That's my thing that I gather.
The reward for that is pretty good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't really want to spoil it, but
Oh, that's fine.
it's cool.
Okay, I'll have to pay attention to that and start. I'll have to start doing more PvP. I have not done very much PvP. The only time I do it is when I get invaded.
Yeah.
And you can only get the reward by doing the PvP?
Yeah, you can
No.
you can loot the items from other things, but a lot of times that's like I've gotten a few when like I've been summoned to someone else's world to help them kill an invader.
Okay.
So, and I was fighting a boss earlier today, and for whatever reason, like they went to attack an invader that had invaded my thing, and I went to fight the boss on my own, but I still got the pale tongue, even because they were off killing the invader while I was doing all the dirty work and fighting the boss.
Yep.
So yeah, there's other ways than just flat out killing someone in PvP. But yeah, because one of the things that I thought was really cool in Dark Souls 2 was that it was like Cult of the Rats or something like that, where it just if you went in their area, they could invade you at any time.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and I don't know if there's anything like that in Dark Souls 3 or not.
Well, you have to be
So far.
you have to be Ember to be invaded.
Right.
And if you have someone summoned, you're more likely to be invaded. And there's also an item called a dried finger, which allows you to summon an extra person. And if you use that item to summon an extra person, then you're more likely to be invaded by 2 people. But you're right, in Dark Souls 2 or 1 or whatever, it was sectioned off. Like the Covenant you were in would be the area you would defend.
Yeah.
And you would just go in when a player was playing through that area, and you could fight them. But in this one, it's anywhere.
Okay. It's a free for all.
Yeah, and I've been doing a ton of PvP because it's the best way to farm embers. That said, I suck at it. I'm really bad. I get killed most of the time. So I've been resorting to a little bit more jankier means. And we talked about how I had that great bow, which is a giant bow that shoots giant arrows and does a lot of damage and knocks people real far. I also have this ring called the Obscuring Ring, which makes it,
I just got that.
Which makes it so I can't be seen if I'm a certain distance away. So I found the area, I think this is the one you were talking about, Dan, the cathedral where you're up on the catwalks.
Yeah.
And I'd go into that area and used a cracked whatever to be able to invade. And then I go into these people's worlds that are on top of that catwalk. They can't see me because I'm obscured. And I shoot a giant arrow at them, and it knocks them off, and they die.
Beautiful.
Well
great.
done.
I love that.
It's a blast. It's so much fun.
And they're probably so mad.
Oh my god, I would be livid. Because it tells you
no idea what happened.
It tells you if you've been invaded, but you don't really know where they are.
Yeah, they could be really anywhere in the like level that you're in.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yep.
Because I've had people take a few minutes before they could find me. One of them, I was just getting ready to fight a boss, and I saw that someone had invaded me. So I went into an area that I thought I could, I like open areas because I like to move around a lot. So I went into an area where I thought I could, have the best advantage, and just waited for them. When they finally got there, we, squared off like you do in a 1v1 duel. I like I said, I like to avoid getting hit. So this guy had like a 2-handed sword or something. So I dodged his first couple attacks, and I got behind him and just started wailing because I can hit like 4, 5, 6 times depending on how much I've dodged around. So I put a good hurting on him. But when I backed off, he was able to use an Estus flask before I could hit him again and finish him off, and he caught me and killed me because I can't take too many hits.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, that's the closest I've come to like winning a 1v1 duel. All the other ones I've just gotten destroyed.
Yeah. I can't even remember the last time I've gotten 1v1. I think the most players you can have simultaneously going is 6, and that can manifest itself in any number of ways, like 4v2. I've seen 3v3, but it's always 2 angry spirits and a mad spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And mad spirit's a little bit different because the enemies also attack them, whereas if you're a dark spirit or angry spirit or whatever, the enemies are kind of on your side and you can use them to your advantage attacking the player. But the mad spirit, I think, swings both ways. I'm not sure. I haven't really figured it out. That said, I was playing last night trying to farm some embers, and I went into this one guy's world a few times. He might have been the only one in the area at the time that was like my level. I think it's gated by level too, because I go back to some of the early zones and I can't invade anybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went into this world and it was 4 guys. It was the guy, a phantom that he had summoned, a mad phantom, and an angry, the red phantom, and they were all working together. And it was really confusing and it really pissed me off.
Working together against you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And like working together through the zone. They were fighting all the enemies, and maybe there are items that make you look like something you're not. So maybe that's what they had on. But I went in and I saw the other red guy and I'm like, oh, all right, I got help. And then he like stabbed me in the back and killed me.
Yeah.
And it's weird too because there's a very limited way you can communicate.
Yeah.
You can communicate with the emotes, which you only have a handful of. So like a lot of it is the weird standoff type of stuff, which is similar kind of to the way the Division works. You know, there's you can have an understanding with another player in your area, even if they like quote unquote invaded you. It's really interesting the way it's handled.
But infinitely frustrating.
Yeah, because once again, you never know when someone's gonna just backstab you and kill you in one hit.
There were moments last night where I was like, I could just throw my controller through my monitor and never have to think about this again.
Yeah.
Like that was my out for some reason. Like that's how it all was gonna end. I was gonna destroy
Smash
my monitor.
Instead of just throwing in the towel like I did, you were gonna break something.
Yeah, that's
but yet
one way to do it.
You want to go back.
Yeah. It's what's sadistic? Is that the word? Is that the right word?
Yeah. Yep. Sadistic, masochistic. Totally agree. But yeah, I have not had much luck with the player versus player. I like when it's the like 2v1 or 3v1. We can team up on the lonely invader and kill him off.
Mm-hmm.
Really give him a good ass kicking.
Really, yeah, because it's a good way to feel good about yourself,
Absolutely, yeah.
3v1.
Clean as clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Give him a good whooping.
It's also the best is when they don't even see you and you kill them, which I've done a couple times. Like I'll be up really high and I'll wait for them to get right underneath me and I'll just
nice
ground pound.
Ground pound, yeah.
Nice.
It's great.
That's
and
awesome.
They don't even know what hit them, and then the phantom that they're with is just like, God damn it.
I gotta start watching your stream.
Yeah, I've been streaming a lot.
Yeah.
I'll probably stream. Maybe I'll play tonight. I don't know, but last night was really frustrating because I was on 2 different bosses that first one I probably tried 24 times before I beat it. The second one, I don't even know, like so much, and I just burn through my embers. I go and try and farm them. I keep getting killed in PvP, so I'm not earning any embers. I'm just wasting time. The last 2 hours of last night, I got literally nowhere trying to fight the same boss. And I know you said early on, Dan, that the combat is punishing but fair. I do agree with that, but there are times where I have a boss down to just like a nick of health, and it feels like some bullshit happens where they get me. And that same boss last night, probably 5 of the 24 times I had it down to just like 1 nick of health.
And you kept going?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? What's
I
your
don't know.
problem?
You got to see the next area, man.
That's what it is for me too. Like
Fuck that.
it's such a challenge that like I just can't let it go. I can't. And Dark Souls is a type of game where you could play for 3 or 4 hours and not get anywhere, not get
Which
anything.
is exactly why I'm not playing it.
Die all the time. But there's also times like when I played yesterday and today, I just kept advancing. Like
Yeah.
I just kept going. Things were flowing for me. I was killing bosses pretty easily.
Sure.
And you just want to keep going and keep going.
And one of the reasons I knew I could push past that was because that was my experience with the other 2 Dark Souls. Not so much Bloodborne. Bloodborne I had a little bit of an easier time with. But like you said, you can get literally nowhere, but as long as you persevere through those hiccups, you'll be all right. And I didn't have that in this game until I'm at the very end of the game. I only have like 2 more bosses to go or something like that.
Oh wow.
I didn't have that in this game at all until right here at the end. Like I've progressed pretty well. I haven't got caught up on bosses very much. I haven't lost a ton of souls at any point. I think the most I lost at one point was like 20,000, but that was when I needed like 15,000 to level up. So it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
Not
big.
lost.
Right. And there's also if you get caught up on something, then what I've been doing is going back to older zones and exploring. I'm sure there's stuff I've missed here and there, and use that exploration time to farm souls so you can level up more. And that's worked out pretty well. Then there's stuff I forget about that I go back and check on, like that tower key right at the beginning of the game I totally forgot about. I guess
20,000, right?
I don't need to talk about it too much, but yeah. And I didn't do that till the end of the game. But hey, it's fun. And that little bastard with the do we lose Dan?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. That little bastard.
That
little bastard with the outside the Firelink Shrine with the sword and the rags.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
I killed him right off the bat.
What?
What?
I bumped him off the edge.
I tried to do
Oh,
that.
you did say that.
Yeah, you're nice.
I dodged to the side and then I did a couple hits and he fell off the edge like right off the bat.
I
It was
tried
lucky.
to do that, but I didn't have much luck. But once I finally did kill him, I ended up wearing his armor for PvP. It's great.
Nice.
And my guy's 99 hollow, so he looks nice and dead. Just looks like a skeleton.
It's awesome.
And I have these rags on and a scimitar, and that's it. And he has a
What
big
up?
bushy beard. He looks homeless.
What level is your guy, Corey?
I think 70.
Okay. I think I'm level 51. I hit 51. I try to, whenever I get a massive souls, I try to just go level up so I don't lose them, because I'm the player that pushes their luck. I'll have like one Estus flask left and I'll be like, I'll go into the new area. I'll be careful. I won't die. And then I die.
Yep.
And then I die on my way to go pick up my souls. So I try to, if I even have close to the amount, I'll go farm the last little bit and level up.
That's what I hold on to, the souls you pick up as items. I'll hold on to those to push me over the edge for the next level.
Yep. Yeah, I've been doing that too a little bit.
And also, go ahead.
Go ahead, Corey.
No, I was just going to say I've been a lot more mindful of my items. And when I have a ton of souls, I equip a Ring of Sacrifice, which makes it so when you die, you don't lose anything, but the ring breaks. But you find enough of them throughout the game that it's kind of... Whereas in the other Dark Souls, I would be like, oh, no, I got to save this. I'm not going to use this. And then the end of the game comes, and I had never used it, so...
Yeah, you have a few of them in your inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found out today a new vendor for the souls of bosses that you can use. I just found out that you use those today.
Hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in plain sight. That's right. You got to talk to all the NPCs repeatedly.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, and I only played 2 hours.
Oh yeah, I glossed completely over that part for 25 hours.
I cheated because I read Kotaku's tips for Dark Souls 3 starting tips, and it said don't forget about the NPC hiding in plain sight in Firelink Shrine, and they hinted at it somehow, but I don't remember how.
Yeah. Okay. Corey, toughest enemy you've come across? Like, I don't mean bosses, but your average enemy that you just have to square off against.
The mimic chests that crawl on the ground, not the ones that stand up. I don't know if you've seen any of those yet, because I didn't see them until late in the game. Those are a bitch.
Okay.
Any of the enemies that grab you, because I feel like
they're going to eat 3/4 of your health, probably,
or all of it. Which
or all of it.
happened to me too many times. They do some jank, and the hitboxes for that I think is a little generous on their end, which kind of sucks. And even with the bosses, like some of their attacks are a little, I don't know, a little questionable. But yeah, any of the enemies that can grab you, the dudes that do have you seen they're like cloaked witches that carry firebrands? Have you seen them?
No.
Those are a bitch.
I just got to the Ithalin.
Oh, so you
the dreamlike place that you go to.
Where you cross the bridge?
Yeah. I just got there. That's where I left
so
off.
You're close to that then. You'll be seeing them soon.
Great.
That was my favorite area, by the way.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I actually took a screenshot of it for like from the distance. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. The architecture and the interconnectedness of all of it, and the variation, even though it's mostly a fortress, but there's a lot of things going on outside the fortress and underneath it, and I really liked that area.
Yeah. I have trouble with any enemy that have like a pole arm, pitchforks, long spears, even those undead that carry the logs, the giant sharpened logs.
Yeah.
I have a lot of trouble with those guys. But specifically the armored knights with the spears that are walking towards the beginning. I just can't. I couldn't kill those guys. Because usually when I go into a new area, I like to go through and clear it on my way to the boss, and then then I'll take a few cracks at the boss, and if I have to run back, I'll just run by.
Yeah.
But I couldn't kill those guys consistent.
Yep. I have that issue too. Same problem. One of the things I found, it's easier if you can get one of them at a time, because when there's multiple ones and they're all stabbing at you from different directions, it's nigh impossible. But one thing I found is I have an item that increases the invincibility of my roll at the cost of some defense. So when I have that equipped, my roll gives me a little bit more protection. So when one of those guys comes at me, I wait for them to start their lunge or jab, or however you want to phrase it, and then roll at them.
Yeah.
And then right next to them, and the roll is enough to dodge their stab, and then maybe I can strafe around them from behind and backstab them, or just start slicing at them. But that was the most effective way I found. I do also carry a shield from time to time, but it's just one of those little small shields that doesn't protect me from much damage, but it's enough that I can turn those stabs aside and then slice away at them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think mine is like 60% physical damage protection. And it's the same thing. It's just to break up attacks, if I need them. So, good stuff. I think that's all I wanted to cover. Do you have any well, Eric, let's hear your thoughts. What's your
there's a couple things that are going against Dark Souls right now for me, and I don't want you to think that I don't like the game, because that's not the case. I said last week it's probably my favorite game series, and I stand by that. I just am not in a place right now where I feel like investing the time or energy or mental health into a Dark Souls game.
Yeah.
I don't think I needed another Dark Souls game right now off of Bloodborne, which really wasn't that long ago. That was one thing.
About a year ago?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it came out last March.
Okay.
The other thing was I was playing Ratchet and Clank. It could not stop. couldn't put it down. And that's the kind of game I want right now. Is one I don't really need to think. It's just really fun. I've been playing a shit ton of Rocket League again. And I've played Overwatch all weekend. And those 3 games all have a lot of fun in common. And that's just what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
And I got back onto Dark Souls the first time I fired it back up after last week. And I was a little bit lost, and then I found my way out of where I was. And I got onto a rooftop, and there was this irregular looking skeleton guy there. So I went up to him, and all of a sudden, like, he transformed like the first boss does.
Yeah.
Yep.
With all this black shit coming out of him and
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Flailing around everywhere.
Yep.
I ran past that probably 40 times.
Okay. Well, first of all, I always forget you can run past things.
Yeah.
So I just ordinarily don't because I forget.
Yeah.
So I tried to fight him, and I don't like that whole thing because I don't feel like there's an actual attack going on. There's fucking flailing their black appendages around everywhere.
Yep.
So I can't really get a feel for what's going on there. And he just kicked the living shit out of me, and I go, yeah, I'm done with this.
Go ahead, Corey.
I was just gonna say that particular enemy gives me fits, Eric.
Oh my god!
It's not the first and it's not the last time you'll see it. That particular one,
No, it is.
What?
That's the last time I'll see it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last time.
That particular one, though, I found out that you can run up to the skeleton guy and kill it before it transforms.
Yep. But I was only able to do that once.
Really?
Out of all the times I tried, probably like a dozen times. I was able to kill him once, and the other times he, transformed. And then, like I said, I just started running past him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna screw with this guy.
I just thought to myself, like, if I go back and get my souls, the chances I'm gonna beat him next time are slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the chances I'm gonna beat him the time after that are slim to none again.
Yep.
And I just want to go play Rocket League and Overwatch because the matches last 5 minutes and they're a fucking blast.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's, and I'm driving, I'm spending 10 hours at work every day between my drive and my work. And when I get home, the last thing I want is to take a fucking skeleton turn into black shit flailing around everywhere up my ass as hard as possible. So I said, fuck it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Dark Souls...
No, and you're not wrong saying it's awesome, because it is.
Yeah, and like, fun is not the word for Dark Souls. Like,
No.
It's
not.
It's rewarding.
Yeah.
But in between that rewarding feeling, it's like 2 hours of pain and suffering.
Exactly. And like the thought when Dan said he spent 2 hours and accomplished nothing, that's the thought that crept into my mind. I'm like, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm just not.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to do it. So.
Yep.
That's pretty much where my head's at. I think my gaming, I'm having a shift in gaming right now. What I'm looking for, I guess.
I've been experiencing that shift for a while now, and Dark Souls is the only game I would like suffer along with, and I think that's why we keep saying it's kind of its own genre at this point.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
I can't think of any other game that would give me as much frustration as Dark Souls, and I would want to keep playing.
Yeah. No, and you just have to be in such a mind frame for it, and I'm so far out of that mind frame right now that I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I hear you.
All right, well, here's a question for you guys. This has been a little bit of a controversy. I don't know if it started with Dark Souls 2, but definitely with Bloodborne. People clamoring for an easy mode. How do you guys feel about that?
No. Why? That defeats the purpose. Go play Ratchet and Clank like I did.
That's what I
pussy.
said. That was my take on it too.
Yeah. What? Don't play Dark Souls. It's like if you see something on the internet that pisses you off, don't read it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to go in the comments and be a dick about it.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
What about you, Corey?
Yeah, I think having an easy mode would kind of defeat the purpose of the game and take the most important aspect of Dark Souls out of it.
if you're looking for an easy Dark Souls, you're not looking for Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're looking for a different action RPG.
Yeah.
You know, hack and slash. Yeah, and like I've said too, like if you can't beat some of the bosses in Dark Souls with summoning an ally, like it's just not your game, you know. Because really, like if you summon some people like will take out a boss in just a couple hits.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you get someone that's good, that knows what they're doing, they will pretty much take care of things on their own.
And
So if
God
you
bless
can't-
that person.
Yeah, exactly.
my God.
I love getting that guy when I'm fighting the boss, but
That was me when I did the Bloodstarved Beast. If I could have handed that guy $100 bill, I would have.
yeah. So yeah, that was my take on things, because really, like a lot of people said, you know, summoning an ally, you can summon them anytime. You can have them go through the whole level with you if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's Dark Souls easy mode.
Right, and that's their way around it.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Rather than increasing the player stats or decreasing the stats of the bad guys, I guess that's the way to play it if you're looking for an easier Dark Souls experience.
don't ever change Dark Souls. You're perfect
No.
the way you are.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not for me at this point.
Yeah, it's hard stuff, no question.
Yeah.
But did you have anything else you want to talk about, Corey? Dark Souls?
I don't think so. I hope to have it beaten in the next couple days, and then I just can remove it from my life for a while.
There you go.
But I was thinking about that today, riding around on the tractor, Eric.
What's that?
I just want to go back to playing a game that doesn't force me to want to break my monitor, you know?
Corey, you want to play Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I do actually. I've been hearing a lot of good things. I
And
do want
boy,
to play that.
should you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Tomb Raider sounds pretty good right about now.
Tomb Raider.
Excellent.
Yeah, Tomb Raider's a good one.
Just something with good pace to it. You know, I'm not gonna get screwed over at any point.
That's what I'm looking for in games anymore. Like, I don't want something that I'm gonna have to redo things over and over anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not in a place where I feel like that's possible for me.
Yeah.
I wanna have a pretty easy time of things, and that's why I understand that Dark Souls is not for me right now. I'm not asking them to make it easier.
Right.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Will, what are your thoughts on Dark Souls 3?
It's amazing. Game of the year.
There you go.
Have you played it yet, Will?
No. I'm probably gonna play Ratchet and Clank next.
I think I just talked Will out of playing it.
I mean,
Overwatch is coming out, Will. You're not gonna have time for that shit.
that's true, and I am playing Fire Emblem still, and I've been playing Heroes of the Storm a lot more.
Will and I handed them $60 for 2 hours worth of gameplay.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure did.
That's all right. You know what? All the enjoyment I've gotten out of that series, perfect. Good for them.
I mean, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna try. I feel like I should try Dark Souls at some point anyway.
Nothing would please me more than for Will to play it and just love it. It's not going to happen.
No,
no, he's going to hate it.
To be honest, Bloodborne sounds more appealing to me than Dark Souls because it's faster paced.
If I could give you
Slightly.
a recommendation, I feel like that's what you should play.
It's only slightly faster paced. Like I said, you can't go into it thinking Devil May Cry or Bayonetta.
Yeah.
But isn't there something easier about Bloodborne, though? I don't know what it is.
Well, part of it is you have access to a lot more healing.
Okay.
And a lot of it, too, is you can heal yourself after you get hit by attacking the enemy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. I loved that mechanic of the game. It was awesome.
Yeah. Whereas in Dark Souls, you have to drink from your Estus flask. I mean, there's a couple other things you can do to increase your health, but that's not a primary mechanic in the game.
How do you guys like the Estus flask and FP flask system?
I like
It's
it,
fine.
but I don't use FP.
Yeah, I immediately changed it to all 4 Estus flasks.
I use just a little bit of FP. I have a spell that I switch out, but I just use that till it's gone, and then
then forget about it.
Yeah.
How do the spells work? I've honestly never used one in a Dark Souls game. Like, I have a healing spell for my Herald, and so
Herald.
if I was to use that, is that it? It's a one-time use, or
No, it's however much FP you have is the amount you can use it. I actually got a spell that I can't even use because I don't have enough FP. Even though I'm qualified to use it, I just don't have the FP to do it. It's a boulder. It's a big boulder.
I never leveled up my magic. I'm better with a sword, you know.
But in past Dark Souls games, Eric, it was a limited number of uses, and it's changed in this one to it's all based
magic.
On magic points.
Okay.
cool. I hope I get back to a point where I'd like to play it again, but God, boy, it does not appear to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I would like to play it through with somebody, which you can do now. You can restrict.
Yep.
Through the settings, you can restrict to who you co-op with, so you can get somebody you want. I think it's through a password or something. You can get.
Now
the
that
person
I
you
would
want
be
to.
willing to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, Corey. You need to get your own copy of Dark Souls.
Oh, Corey, you can buy the PS 4.5 when that comes out.
I'm thinking about it.
What?
Fucking bullshit.
We'll talk about that in a moment,
Oh,
right?
you're damn right we will.
The Neo.
Nice. All right. Nibblebits. Will, we haven't heard from you in a little bit. What do you got for Nibblebits?
Oh, me, Dan.
We'll start with you.
Well, my first one is that Tracer is now in Heroes of the Storm, but only if you pre-ordered Overwatch for right now. Next week is when Tracer is going to be available to everybody on the Heroes of the Storm store. When I saw that, I immediately pre-ordered Overwatch.
Will,
Yeah.
for those that don't know, who is Tracer?
Tracer is the poster character of Overwatch. It's the
The one with
What's
a
that name?
fine ass.
Butt pose.
the character with all the butt drama around it. But she's the one with the goggles, orange. She teleports around, so she's a lot of fun in Heroes of the Storm. Let me tell you. I'll probably talk about that in what we played.
Yeah.
Next, you guys interested in a Guitar Hero MMO at all?
What?
So, when the Guitar Hero and Rock Band franchises were huge back in 2011, they apparently were working on a Guitar Hero MMO called Hero World, and it was going to be a browser-based game. But due to them saturating the market so much with, I think it was 24 Guitar Hero games in, 2 years, that they ended up canceling it.
What
And
would
I
it
watched
even
some-
be?
I watched some gameplay of it, and it looked pretty bad.
Sure.
It's on Destructoid for anybody who's interested into it. But it looks bad. I don't know anybody who would want to play it.
I also have zero interest in that because it's too competitive. You know, people are so good at those games that what the hell would I do?
Right.
Well, I don't even know how it plays because from what I see, it's just somebody walking around on a world, and that's it.
Is it like
So
it's like everybody is a bard playing a guitar?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Wow.
what it kind of looks like.
When you say it like that, I'm in.
Yeah, now it sounds all right, doesn't it?
That's a good point.
It's just one huge guild of bards.
Yeah.
This game became awesome within 12 seconds.
I'm gonna copyright it.
It's not too late. We can bring it back. We just gotta invest some money into the company
Yeah.
that made it.
Done.
Virtual fairground.
I'll tap into our liquid capital.
And last but not least, World of Warcraft Legion, which is the new expansion, launches August 30th. I know none of you care, but it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of interested in it.
Oh, I forgot you were playing WoW there for a bit.
I did. I remember I took a lot of crap for it.
Yeah, you
What
sure
level is your
did.
character?
I think I got to 15.
Okay.
You bought a level 80 off of eBay.
Well, they give you a level 80 or whatever.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to start at level 80 because, I don't know, I kind of like leveling up.
Someone leveled a character all the way by using the Dance Revolution dance pad or something like
Wow.
that.
That's impressive.
Isn't it?
I can't even imagine
No.
trying to do that.
I
Well,
think
it's
it's
like-
Why? Why would somebody do that?
just because they can.
Yeah.
That's
the
the only
fuck?
reason.
Well, wasn't there a guy who beat the first Dark Souls with a Guitar Hero like guitar?
Yes,
Yeah, like that blows my mind.
Now that's impressive.
that is impressive. I couldn't even imagine that.
I
That's
don't-
damn near as impressive as the guy that beat Rogue Legacy with mouse and keyboard.
That's impressive too. I will definitely give you that. Holy shit. Okay.
To think Corey didn't even beat Dark Souls 1 with a
Oh,
controller.
man. It's one of my as upset as Corey is about it. I so badly want him to go back and do that
I'm working on it.
because I remember that whole thing
Yeah.
like it was yesterday.
I watched him fight that boss.
Corey,
Yeah.
when I'm done with Dark Souls 3, I'll go back and start playing Dark Souls, and maybe we can co-op the end game.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we both
'Cause
have
that-
that one.
Yeah, there's a way you can summon only your friends and stuff by changing the channel or something like that. Of who it allows. So as long as we're in the same channel, we can just drop a soapstone or however it works in Dark Souls 1.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was reading somewhere that the servers for the first Dark Souls have been off for over a week.
Yeah, they came back today.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Do we know why?
No explanation. For at least last time I had heard, there's no explanation on why they were down.
Uh-oh.
DDoS.
Lizard Squad.
I was, we were not to change the subject, but you guys were chatting and talking about buying WoW accounts. I was Googling how much my Hearthstone account would be worth.
Uh-huh.
Not much.
$5.
$12 or something like that.
Corey, that's worth it in my opinion.
Well, what I was thinking was, I'll think of Hearthstone as an investment in, I don't know, somebody's selling $650 for an account that has all the heroes leveled up and a certain number of legendaries and everything. So maybe if I can get to that point, it'll be a nice payday and retirement from Hearthstone. But I'm still having fun
Corey, you
with it,
still
so.
playing that pretty regularly?
Oh, every day.
Really?
Every day, do my dailies, get my gold. I'm up to 30,000 gold, getting ready for the new expansion drop. And when it does, I can buy 30 however many coins I have at the time. Divided by 100 card packs.
Did anybody tweet that Nibblebit, by the way?
The release date?
Yeah.
No.
I guess I'll just do it really quick then. April 26th.
Oh, it's April?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking it was May.
So-
It's 6 days.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
134 cards.
Oh boy. I'm excited.
God, your face lit up.
Excited, man. It's fun.
I've played some Hearthstone
No, it's
recently.
not.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's still a lot of fun. I really like Hearthstone. I just don't play it enough because I'm bad at it and I
Hey.
want better cards.
Well, anytime that would be great content. We can play. You can play, and I can spectate, and we can talk through it.
Commentate it, Corey. Really rip him to shreds.
Oh, Will, you're just awful.
Come on, Wool.
Hashtag uninstall.
Corey.
Get good.
Will, don't you know he's gonna play Holy Nova on turn 5? Jeez.
By the way,
Call it Corey and Wool play Hearthstone.
Curran,
by the way, Corey, I want to tell you that I have a problem with the priest in the game.
Why?
I always lose to the priest. I think that's basic, or it's like low level, like cards that it gets are really good. Like, you know, when you're leveling up the classes for the first time, you get all those cards, like class specific cards.
Yeah.
I think they're better than a lot of the other classes. Cards.
Yeah, they're basic cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some pretty good ones. The cleric,
Yep.
or yeah, what's it called?
It's a cleric or something
Can't
like
think of the
that.
name, yeah, that one's.
But like when gets healed, like they draw a card, and then they have like damage dealing cards, which go like.
Light Bomb, that's a good one. Light Bomb, 6-mana spell, and it deals to every minion. They deal their attack damage to themselves, which is effective because in today's meta, people are very aggressive, so they have high damage creatures. So that works pretty well.
Nice. Quit hitting.
And their mind control, their 10-drop card is steal an opponent's minion, which can be real annoying.
See, this is why I can't play Hearthstone, because there's people like Corey who play it every day that know things like that.
You don't get matched up against them, though. Their MMR, their ranking system's pretty good.
Corey, if you ever prove me wrong that badly again, we're going to have a real problem.
Well, my girlfriend plays, and she hasn't been playing lately, but when she was playing, she would win like 30% of the time, and she's awful. I watched her play.
Now that would be entertainment.
Yeah.
Get her to stream while you commentate that.
Yeah.
She'd never.
Yeah, fair enough.
She thinks this whole universe of video games is dumb.
I've got one similar, Corey.
It's just dumb.
Stupid.
I mean, I guess I don't blame her. As like an outsider looking at this stuff, I'd be like, what is the matter with you people?
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I mean, there's probably things that not off the top of my head, but there's probably things like that I don't know about that I look at and say, well, that's stupid. What are you doing, you idiot?
Dumb. Well,
it's like a set of idiots.
It's like she made fun of me for playing Stardew Valley, and then for some reason playing The Division was okay. I don't know. It's just...
Well, because it's like a violent action movie.
Versus a cartoony farming game.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's more mainstream.
Sure.
Yeah, when I'm sitting in my car at Broome playing my 3DS and somebody parks next to me, I always just drop my 3DS and pull up my phone. So.
Oh.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it for me, dude.
All right, what do you got, Corey?
Oh, do I have anything? Oh, the Thumbstick Athletes podcast is now available through Google Play Music.
All right.
Finally. God,
yeah.
It took them long enough to put podcasts on their app.
It has been a while. Although I have been watching and our downloads haven't really changed. Granted,
they're rolling it out slowly, so like I don't have it yet. I don't have the update yet.
Yeah, you gotta. If you're on Android, you gotta get it through that. But you can also get it through your browser or through. I think I actually just downloaded the Google Play Music app on my iPhone today, but I never got the chance to check and see if the podcast was on there. But yeah, it hasn't really affected our downloads at all. We're having a really good month, anyway.
Yep.
Again. But yeah, I don't know. So check that out. Subscribe on there. And subscribe to other gaming podcasts you like, because I think if you subscribe to like the popular ones and ours, it will start suggesting ours to people who listen to the popular ones. I think that's how their algorithm. If I was designing an algorithm, that's how I would do it.
That's using the old noodle, Corey.
Yeah. So that's what I did with myself. I think I also started or did something. Oh, I tweeted it. That's what I did. As if it weren't my own.
Uh-huh. Nice.
That's what you gotta do these days.
Yeah, definitely.
My other one, GameStop launched a fully fledged publishing division. Now, they have published games in the past. Xenoblade for the Wii was a GameStop exclusive because they did the localization, or paid for the localization at the very least in North America. So they have done stuff like this in the past. I know they've had another game or two that they've done, but they just launched a publishing label that is aiming for 5 to 10 games per year for all platforms. They also included VR in that. Some of the studios they have signed on are Ready at Dawn, which did The Order, Frozen Byte, which did Trine, Insomniac, which did Ratchet and Clank. They announced the game that they're doing with Insomniac, but that's just a one-off. It's not like a contract with the studio or anything. And that's I'll be curious to see what that game's all about. forget the name of it.
Insomniac is working on 2 games, I think, right now, and they're both VR exclusive.
Maybe this one's VR. I don't know. They're claiming that it's just a publishing label. They don't want to interfere with the creative process at all, but that's always easier said than done when they're the ones paying the bills. It's inevitable that there'll be some sort of vetting process on their end.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to market all the games like AAA titles. They have, I think there's like 6,000 GameStops in North America. So, they can leverage the in-store power. I mean, GameStop is still a force.
Sure.
It's the go-to game store. Yeah, they're going to market all the games like AAA titles. They're also planning on leveraging ThinkGeek, which they bought last year, I think, for merch for the games. So it's all going to come full circle, I guess. And they're actually... there's a quote from one of the important people there that this publishing arm is important to their future. So I guess
Well, good luck to them.
Good luck to them is right.
Well, they're probably realizing that brick and mortar stores for video games, it's probably going by the wayside.
Have you been to a GameStop lately?
No.
It looks like a fucking yard sale when you go in there. It's like
there's crap everywhere.
Yeah, maybe it's just the one near where I live now. But it's just like action figures, stupid keychains,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, impulse buy shit.
Yeah, they have the AAA games to get people in the store, and then they hope they buy a bunch of crappy merch.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. The thing is if these games are no good, then it's just a waste. The games have to be good.
And they're taking a risk with the VR stuff there too.
Yeah, they don't have their digital distribution platform anymore, do they? Didn't they get rid of that?
I don't know.
I think so.
So it's like these games have to be good enough to get people in the store.
Yeah.
They sell digital codes though, right?
Oh, they must. Yeah, online. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, until they start offering a 20% discount on new games, I will be sending my business elsewhere.
To Best Buy or Amazon.
Or until they start having GameStop summer sale.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. That it, Corey?
I think that's all I had. I don't know who had the PlayStation info. Eric, was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, wait, I had another one. I just didn't write it down. Ken Levine, the BioShock mastermind, is creating an interactive Twilight Zone movie.
Really?
So that's cool.
Is that kind of like you're sitting in the movie theater and it's press 1 for something, press 2 for another thing? It would probably be on your phone now, but is that they're going for? Because Futurama did a good bit on that many years ago.
Technology will allow viewers to determine what the characters do, probably leading to a twist at the end. Yeah. It might even be something it could even be like a YouTube.
You probably vote on your phone for what the characters do.
I don't know if it's a movie thing.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I forget who it was. Somebody created a whole choose your own adventure game on.
Yeah, it was YouTube. For Fallout New Vegas.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yep.
Just by clicking the annotations in the videos. It's, brilliant.
I was gonna say it's genius.
Yeah.
To think of doing something like that. Okay. That it, Corey?
That's it.
All right. What do you got, Eric?
A couple. I got 2, Dan.
All right.
Corey, if you don't ever end up beating Ornstein and Smog the correct way in the video game, maybe the board game is more to your liking. Have you seen this?
I have seen it. I don't know anything about it, though.
Yeah, so Dark Souls, the board game, was proposed on Kickstarter by Steamforged Games. And as of right now, it is up over $1 million pledged.
Wow.
for a board game. Yeah. The goal was 70,000.
Well, they got that.
Yeah,
hit
they hit that goal. So
3 minutes.
Now they
yeah,
got their
3 minutes.
now they got their hookers and blow money.
Yeah, now they can just say fuck it and get real high. So what you get with the core game, it's going to come with 2 bosses, those being Ornstein Smog as one boss, and then the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, and then player characters. The Knight, Warrior, Herald, and Assassin are base game, but because they raise so much money, they're also including the Pyromancer, Cleric, Sorcerer, Thief, and Mercenary. Mini bosses, the Titanite Demon, Frost Knight, Invader, Winged Knight, and Gargoyle, and these are all actual action figures that come with the game. And then there's the grunt enemies, Sentinels, Silver Knight Swordsman, Silver Knight Archers, Armored Hollow, Crossbow Hollow, and Hulking Hollow. And this has also got some card aspect to it. So it looks really cool, obviously. And I would love to play it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
I'm in.
It does look really cool.
it's like $100 and some bucks
Is that for
Yeah.
like the base
for the base game, yeah.
full version of the game?
Those board games can be pricey.
Yeah, it looks awesome though. It looks really in depth, and I kind of watched the Kickstarter video for it, and it's pretty cool.
This is
So
with
definitely check that out.
this is with Bandai Namco, right? Like with their blessing or their licensing, or
I'm sure
is it one
it's
of those
Steam.
things that's going to get shut down?
It would have to be, wouldn't it?
It's-
I would
Jeez.
think.
It's Steam Forge games. They're
Are they
make-
reputable?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's cool. My second bit of news is that pretty much confirmation at this point about the rumors of the upgraded PS4, which is codenamed Neo. Somebody brought up a pretty obvious and good point. Remember when it was Project Morpheus for the VR, and now this is Neo? Somebody loves them some Matrix over there at
Yeah.
Sony.
I heard a joke. Like the Matrix, doesn't need a sequel. Speaking of
Oh,
PS,
I tweeted that from I retweeted.
Oh. Hey,
What's
was
his name?
Brian
Altano.
Brian Altano. Yeah, he's the one that tweeted. I got
Yeah,
a good kick
yeah.
out of
You
that.
realize how much he sounds like Joe Rogan?
He does. Now that you mention it, he really does.
Like, I have to do a double take every time I listen. He does a few of the IGN podcasts. I'm like, is
Yeah.
this Joe Rogan talking?
Yeah,
They sound the exact same.
that's funnier. But anyway, the rumors apparently are all but confirmed at this point, and this was from Austin Walker at Giant Bomb, is the article that I tweeted, and it came out 2 days ago. So the upgrades for the Neo version of your PS4, it will have an 8 Jaguar Core, 2.1 gigahertz as opposed to 1.6 gigahertz in the original PS4. The GPU is an improved AMD GCN 36 CUs, which means absolutely nothing to me, at 911 megahertz. And the memory is upgraded from 176 gigabytes a second to 218 gigabytes a second.
That's crazy.
It supports 4K image output. What do you guys think about this? I guess one of the saving graces, I don't know how difficult this is going to be for developers, obviously, because I couldn't begin to develop a video game. But they're saying that they're not going to allow it to split the player base, and that all games must be compatible for both systems, the base PS4 and the upgraded PS4.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a pain in the ass, don't you, if you were developing a game?
Yeah, it was one of the guys from BioWare actually said that's going to be trouble for developers. Was it Greg Zeschuk maybe who said that's going to be a pain? Because I initially was for the hardware refresh, but as I think about it, like the Nintendo 3DS did a hardware refresh. The new 3DS XL has the nub, but it's also a little bit more powerful. The game that specifically changed my mind about the whole thing was
Hyrule Warriors?
Hyrule Warriors, yeah. Compatible with both systems, but it runs like absolute garbage on the old 3DSs. It runs fine on the new 3DS. So if you're going to run into that sort of problem, you're really kind of forcing people to upgrade to the newest version. So
40 million people, by the way.
yeah. I mean, that's a lot of players.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like I've seen a pretty fair amount of people either excited or not excited for this, but I think the majority would be like fairly pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm pissed off. I haven't completely decided yet. And one of the reasons I'm pissed off is because they're also putting the VR thing out. Like, I can't afford both of those things by any means. You know? Yeah. And I guess I don't necessarily need the upgraded PS4, but at the same time, I feel like I do. You know? Yeah. Because like you're saying, Dan, if is it gonna be worse for the PS4? And I know they're saying it's not, and that sounds great, but is it true?
Right. That's Nintendo said it. What like Hyrule Warriors was gonna run fine on both systems, and it didn't. It didn't run fine on the old 3DS.
Right.
So,
what I'm hoping is best case scenario, like when the current gen consoles came out, GameStop ran promos for trade in $200 towards the new model. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for, and I could part ways with a couple $100 for it. I'd be willing to do that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, Dan, I know that probably sounded like a jumbled mess when I read off the new specs, but did you look at that? Does it seem like it's that much better?
Yeah, I mean, it's an upgrade. It's really hard to tell because a lot of that stuff is like specialized hardware for the console. So, like until you see it in action, like it's just numbers.
Okay.
But a lot of people seem to think like it's enough of an upgrade to improve specifically like frame rates and stuff. Which frame rate?
Yeah, they said it'll pretty much be 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, which I mean that's awesome.
It'll depend on the game when they create new games. If they want to increase the graphical fidelity a little bit in the games, then who knows?
And I guess, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's not mentioned in these specs here, but apparently they also freed up 0.5 gig of memory that wasn't available before. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I guess games that have already been released, they're leaving it up to the developers of those games if they want to put a patch out to make it compatible with the Neo. So
you could see 60 frames per second Bloodborne.
That'd be all right.
That would get me to buy a new PlayStation 4.
Would it really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, plus Ratchet and Clank. Don't forget.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there's a few games I would want to play on it, specifically JRPGs, but 60 frames per second Bloodborne could do it. I don't want to say would do it. Could do it.
Fallout 4 is one of the games they specifically mentioned in this article that could really use that.
That game could use a lot of things.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. I have mixed feelings. It just kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Sure.
It's one of the reasons I like consoles is because I have one, and it just works for 7-8 years, and then I buy a new one.
Yeah,
that's better. That's what I like about it. I don't have to worry about this upgrading stuff constantly like I would with a PC. And I realize that that's kind of way things are going, but I hate it.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the CEO or head of PlayStation said that they didn't know about a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it was what's his
Yoshida?
name? Shuhei Yoshida. He said he basically said that wasn't like a guarantee. He doesn't know if that's coming yet. So, I think it was Giant Bomb I was listening to also that was talking about would they just release something that would be a base just called the PlayStation, and they would release newer versions of the PlayStation every couple of years with upgraded things. Instead of doing PlayStation 5, 6, 7 every 8 years.
Want to get a ballin' PC.
There you go. That's it.
Or
that's the thing. Like, just stop making consoles at that point because you're doing nothing. I could just get a really good computer at that point.
And that's the issue with Sony. Microsoft and Xbox, they at least have the PC to go to. I mean, Windows is so ubiquitous. But what does Sony have to gain by going all PC? Just making software? Nothing. So I think we will see another console out of Sony. What that looks like, I don't know. It's not. I don't think it'll be console as we know it, but
It'll be
the
an
other thing that
So I think we will see another console out of Sony. What that looks like, I don't know. It's not. I don't think it'll be console as we know it, but
it'll be
the
an
other
Xperia,
thing that
it'll be an Xperia phone that can run games like games.
it's not that
Yeah.
not that crazy.
the other thing that they brought up too was for Sony. It kind of makes sense for them to do this and push the 4K thing because they have 4K DVDs and TVs to sell under the Sony name, and this would probably help with that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hate. I always forget that PlayStation is a Sony thing, so I always separate the two. And then when I hear that, I'm like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was my.
And I should go ahead.
I was gonna say that was my initial reaction to the news was that it's for media. It's for Sony's, like you said, movie studio and distribution, DVD sales and stuff like that. And but then like my second reaction to that was like, I think that's giving Sony too much credit to at the corporate level.
And you speak from firsthand experience.
Have some synergy between divisions. But, hey, maybe it's the one thing, it's PlayStation 4 is super successful, and everybody at Sony sees that and is trying to suck from the teat
of PlayStation. Yeah.
Well, and they do have what's the word? Precursor to this, because we talk about how the PlayStation 3 was like the cheapest Blu-ray player, so they know like that's an in.
Sure.
What is your guys' gut feeling? Do you think that this is going to be a good thing for them, or is it going to backfire?
Uh,
It's hard to say, isn't it?
It's very hard to say.
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know how.
I should
I
also
feel.
say that the price was not confirmed, but the rumors are that it's going to be $400
Sure.
for the Neo.
It's one of those things that whether it's good or bad for consumers, it's one of those things I feel like they have to do.
Why?
Because I don't think you're going to get too many more good years out of the current PlayStation, like compared to PC. And I know some people don't care about that, but also their competitors are doing things.
Yeah, but Quantum Break just came out for PC and runs like a sack of dicks. Like, what good is that? It's great. It's on PC, but it runs like shit.
That's a game that was specifically designed for a console that was ported for PC for Windows, but it was. I
thought that you were saying like Xbox has the PC thing going for it. So
no. I'm just saying in general, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like graphical fidelity wise, the consoles are falling behind substantially.
Well, I guess the thing is, if you're playing on consoles, you don't care about the graphics as much anyway. Otherwise, you'd be playing on a PC.
I agree with you on that. But like I said, their competitors are doing things to advance their hardware, and it's like, does PlayStation
I don't know.
not do that and like win some favor? But like, how does that end up in the long run?
When you say competitors, you're talking about PC?
No, Microsoft and Nintendo.
What is Microsoft doing about it?
They're coming out with new hardware.
With the Xbox?
Yeah.
What is it?
We'll find out at E3.
Yeah.
Where did you see this? Because this is the first I've heard of it.
Really?
It's been rumored.
That was the rumor before the PlayStation.
Phil Spencer all but shot that down, I was pretty sure.
Yeah. They're going to come out with a new Xbox One.
Well, now they probably have to, but like...
Well, I thought Phil Spencer was the one that came out and said, like, we have to do something. We don't know what that is, but we're going to do something.
I think the thing that he shot down was
Modular.
the part about upgraded parts.
Right.
Yeah, specific parts being... So, yeah, that part he did shoot down, but, yeah, I don't know.
And I don't think
it's
Phil
just a little
Spencer is
frustrating.
going to admit that, if that's like a secret thing that they're doing, if he's going to admit to that in an
no,
interview.
but I think he would be a little more
coy
dance
with his
aroundy
words.
as opposed to just saying no. That's not what we're going to do.
That's a
Here's
good
what
point.
it is. I think. And I beat a dead horse, but it's because mobile is catching up. So as a developer, you're looking at numbers, right? You're looking at the bottom line. How many people have access to whatever game it is? So if you're a AAA developer and you can put a AAA game on a phone or tablet alongside the all the consoles and computers, you're looking at much larger than anything else install base for people with capable Android phones and capable iPhones. And I think that's what the consoles are worried about is mobile technology catching up to them.
And
that's
I get that
refresh.
But the PS4 is selling gangbusters.
Sure.
It's not like it's not selling.
Right.
But it's
Isn't
also
it 4-1 to Xbox right now?
Yeah, 3 or 4 to 1.
So what are they worrying about? Like, they're doing fine.
You're right. I don't think it's so much worry as it is like
getting ahead of the.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like you said, Dan. Looking at numbers, it's like, well, yeah, we have 40 million users, but let's say we put an app out on Android, which has how much more it's just dollar signs. This is where the user base is. This is where the technology is. How are we going to react to this to get a piece of this pie?
Yeah, sometimes I just don't know if reacting for reaction's sake is a good thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just trying to point out why it might be a bad idea.
And you're right. And to me, it's just totally nebulous. And I don't think it'll become any clearer until we at least see at E3 like what each of the big three are going to do.
Yeah, price will make a big difference too. I feel like.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
But,
I can sit here and say I'm not going to get it. Probably going to.
Right.
Well,
God damn it.
One benefit to it, though, is the people who do want the upgraded one will push their old ones out into the world, and people who can't afford the newer one will be like, oh, well, I can still play all the games. I'll just get the cheaper, older one, and then it exponentially increases the user base.
Which is great, but the thing I worry about, and we already talked about this, and they said that it's not going to happen, but splitting the user base is a big worry. Like, look at games like Battlefront, for instance. I didn't buy the season pass, and now the DLC's starting to come out. I can't play with a lot of the people, because people that are still playing Battlefront right now are people that bought the season pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pre-ordered the season pass because they're super into Battlefront, and like...
The people that bought it just to play it for a while are done playing it anyway.
Exactly. So if I'm going to go back and play Battlefront because I have it, it's already split the user base, and I'm worried that that's what's going to happen with the PS4s. But
yeah, we'll see. Sony seems to be swearing up and down that they're not gonna split those two, but who knows?
Trust them as far as I can throw them.
Yeah.
That's it, Dan.
That's it. All right, I got 2 quickies here. Supergiant Games, developer of Bastion and Transistor, has announced their new game called Pyre, where you lead a group of characters, quote, through an ancient competition spread across a vast mystical purgatory, end quote. It's scheduled for release in 2017, but will be playable at PAX East, apparently. Because it's a game by Supergiant, it looks gorgeous. It reminded me a little bit of a mix between, at least in the brief gameplay video I saw of it, or trailer or whatever, reminded me a little bit of the Banner Saga, like the Banner Saga with the wagon type of thing, and then the artwork a little bit reminded me of Massive Chalice. So it's a very nice looking game. So
looks like Transistor.
Yeah, a little
it's
bit.
got a sports aspect to it, apparently.
Yeah, some sort of competition.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like an Olympics type of thing, since that's the oldest sports. The combat sports.
Yeah.
I think
Wrestling.
Is PAX this week?
Yes.
Yeah, this weekend.
Aren't they bringing it to PAX? Isn't that going to be?
Yeah, he said that.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Come on, Corey.
Well,
Maybe if you'd listen once in a while, Corey.
My girlfriend just got home, and
Oh,
I was
okay.
just trying to say hi to her because I love her so much.
Nice.
Listen to this guy.
It's documented now.
And then my only other nibble bit, the Devolver Digital Humble Bundle. So I figured I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the new Humble Bundle. Pay what you want for a fistful of gun, Ronin, and Jobs will be watching. Pay more than average, which at the time I wrote this was $4.60. Get Not a Hero, Shadow Warrior Special Edition, Dropsy, a coupon for 50% off the Talos Principle, which I absolutely adored. More games to come. A week from now, they'll announce the extra games. Or you can pay $10 or more for all those games, and then Titan Souls and Hateful Boyfriend, Holiday Star. So
Hateful.
Yeah, that is the Devolver Digital Humble Bundle. Might get that.
Really hate that they do coupons in these bundles.
Yeah.
I haven't used one yet.
I don't even want to see it. I'd rather they put no coupon in there and not the game than get 50% off our game.
Yep.
Well, 50% off Talos Principle too. That game's $40 usually, so it's $20.
So give me $20 credit on Steam then.
There you go.
That would be awesome. Yeah. So that's it for that. Our weeks. I'll go first because I only have one thing to talk about. I'm just excited for Game of Thrones on Sunday. I'm giddy. Literally giddy.
Oh, that show.
People are at a crossroads, Dan.
Why?
The show will be ahead of the books.
Yeah, I know. People don't know how to feel about that. Apparently, the writers for the show had a powwow with George R.R. Martin, so they've mapped out the important events. It's a lot of the side stories, I guess, will probably be different, but
I would love it because the book got pushed back, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I would love it if George R.R. Martin just told them a bunch of stuff.
Lies.
That's what they went with in the show, and then changed it. That would make me so
God.
happy.
That would be awesome. The ultimate troll.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I love the show, and it'll be good. I think no matter what. But I think that would be great. It'd be a good nod to like the people who were reading the books well before Game of Thrones was on HBO.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see that with after the events of the Red Wedding, George R.R. Martin just may do anything. You never know. He does have to finish the books though. He's getting to be man.
Not just old.
A little crazy.
A little unhealthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him lately, but he's got to get a move on.
Pump that out before he kicks it.
Finish your books before you die. We
Yeah,
gotta know who sits on the
Tweet
throne.
it to him.
We need a conclusion. So that's all I've got. Eric, how was your week?
Not bad, Dan. Not too much to report. I did want to bring up again that I got the Lords of the Sith Star Wars book on audiobook version on Audible. So I've been listening to that to and from work. I think I'm about almost 7-8 hours into it, and man, is it awesome! It's like I want to buy the Star Wars box set so bad now after listening to this. The narrator is really good. I don't know if it's actually James Earl Jones that does Darth Vader, but whoever is doing it on there sounds awesome. Like there's the different voices, and him and the Emperor both sound really good in the audiobook.
Nice.
I'm right in the thick of a big battle scene that's going on right now, and I'm really excited tomorrow to see what happens with it. Corey, did you say you read this one?
No, I have Dark Disciple. I'm just waiting to finish another book before I start that one. What's the gist of Lords of the Sith? Are there any known characters in it?
Yeah, Darth Vader's in it. Palpatine.
Okay.
Other than that, no. Not known to me. And, as I've stated before, I'm not a huge Star Wars junkie.
Yeah.
I do like it. My appreciation for it has definitely grown lately. And this book is helping that along even further. But yeah, those are the only two that I recognized. Maybe there was one more. Marth? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, Roy and Marth.
No. Mon Marth? Moth?
Oh.
Darth Maul.
Mothma?
Mothma, thank you.
Maybe not then.
She's like a commander of the rebel forces.
Cham
Okay,
Syndulla?
she might. Cham?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cham's in it.
Just
Cham's
reading
pretty
reading
badass.
the write-up. It takes place after Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Yeah, Cham's pretty cool. There's a really cool. It's Twi'lek. I always thought it was pronounced Twi'lek,
Yeah, me too.
but they pronounce it Twi'lek.
Huh.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that their emotions are shown through the tails on their heads. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, like their emotions are shown through like a dog's tail wags.
Yeah.
It's not to that extent, but like, they get curled up if they're, worried or, kind of stuff like that. It's pretty cool that they go into that kind of detail.
Nice.
And Cham, I think it's Cham. There's a female Twi'lek. I can't remember her name, but she's with Cham a lot, and she's pretty awesome. I like her character a lot, and kind of the stuff that she does on the side that he doesn't know about, that he wouldn't approve of.
Is it Isval?
Yes, it's Fall. She's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm right in the thick of a good battle right now, and I'm excited to see what happens in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're on
Good
your way,
stuff.
Eric. You're on your way to being a Star Wars nerd.
Don't
Maybe.
you know that Twi'leks show their emotions through their head tentacles?
Sounds
Yeah.
just like Eric.
The problem is my memory is so bad that I listened to this today and couldn't remember the characters' names.
Yeah.
So I will never be able to be that guy.
Yep.
So I just kind of stumble my way through talking about Star Wars. But yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Corey?
Not much. My week was mostly Dark Souls. Mostly Dark Souls. We took the dog on a hike. Her first big hike. We've taken her on little hikes, but it was her first big hike the other day, Sunday. And she pulled me up the whole mountain. Pulled the entire way.
Loved it.
Yeah.
She did love it, and I loved it because it actually took a little off for me. She was like a pack mule
Nice.
carrying
That's
me
what
up.
I need.
Oh.
But she
How
pulled,
long was the hike, Corey?
I would say it took us maybe an hour to get to the summit,
Yeah.
and then there's a fire tower up there, which she was afraid to go up, but she did. She walked all the way up the fire tower.
Nice.
And
Proud dad.
then a little bit shorter to walk down, but she pulled all the way down too, which really sucked. Because I have her on the leash, and if she like jumps off a rock or something, I don't want her to choke, so I have to like run down.
Ugh.
You know,
Corey,
what I
you
mean?
should get a harness.
Well, she's worse on the harness than she is on anything else.
Really?
Yep. She pulls
How is that possible?
because the harness doesn't hurt her.
Yeah, but it makes it harder for them to pull.
A harness around her chest.
Yeah, that was always my experience.
I mean, I guess it depends on the dog, but no, she pulls the hardest on the harness. We do just the leash around the neck, which she's a little bit better on, but we just got her one of those gentle leaders. I think I
Yeah.
talked about it on here before. That
Yeah, you did.
fits around her snout, and she like can't pull on that. But I didn't want to do that on a hike.
Yeah. 'Cause that's a long way to go.
Yeah, I wanted her to, be somewhat comfortable. So, but that was fun. And like I said, it's just pretty much Dark Souls and hockey. I've been staying up way too late to watch hockey.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yesterday was a rough day. Thank God one of my teams won yesterday because the other three lost.
Yep.
So
Oof.
that's
Sorry,
been my
boys.
week.
All right. Well, what do you got?
Keeping on with hockey. You remember last week when I said I like Coach's Challenge because I get the calls right? Boy, did I eat my words.
If you didn't hate it before, you hate it now.
Here's the thing. Yeah, they're getting the calls right, but if you have to look frame by frame to notice if like a millimeter of a skate is either off the ice or across the blue line, like that's not really offsides.
Yeah.
Not to mention that it's being used as a tactic now. I think I've counted like 8 goals being called back at this point.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. And like you said, it's being used as a tactic. Like coaches use it to slow down momentum.
This is the best example of it. The Panthers-Islanders game 3, the Panthers scored to go up 3-0, which is kind of a death blow to a team. And they called it back to offsides, which I think it was Huberdeau who was offside by just a minuscule amount. And there was like 10 to 15 seconds of play in the offensive zone for the Panthers where the Islanders made a ton of defensive mistakes, like Barkov deked out one of the defensemen and all that, and they scored, and it got called back. So, like, Greg Wyshynski did a really good article on it on Puck Daddy about why they need to kill it with fire before it becomes a big issue. Which it already is an issue, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like let everybody play with that. Leave it, keep the momentum of the game, let everybody play with that extra millimeter on offsides. Let everybody benefit from it, then it's an even playing field again. You know, it's just, it's ridiculous.
I said one of the ways they could fix that is by not having like your video coaches being able to call down to the bench and say, "Oh yeah, challenges is offsides." It's got to be called, you know, from the ice.
Yeah.
And then if you get it wrong, you should get a delay game penalty.
Absolutely. That's definitely what they should do. They should penalize the coaches for abusing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is, as you said, Dan, was meant to be for goalie interference.
Goaltender interference, yeah, that was, or to look and see if a puck like did cross the line.
Uh-huh.
You know, that sort of stuff. It wasn't meant for offsides or anything like that.
Just get rid of the blue line.
That
Who cares?
that has been tossed around, actually.
I like that idea. I've always been a fan of that idea.
I just remember not that long ago when you couldn't pass the puck over 2 lines.
Yeah.
Dan, when I first started watching hockey, that blew my mind that was a penalty. I go, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Because of the Edmonton Oilers. That rule.
It's always the fucking Oilers, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
Just
put in
because they were good.
They were so good in the mid to late 80s that they wanted to slow their offense down a little bit, so they
blew my mind because they were so good, and then they blew my mind because they were so bad.
Yep.
All spectrums covered.
Look at that dynamic team, those Oilers.
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't know. It's just like, because it ruins the momentum of the game for like the team. Like there was the Blues Hawks game. Not to mention that the Blues, while the calls got called back and they were right, but like right after the Tarasenko goal in Game 2 got called back, Chicago scored almost immediately after.
Yeah.
And then there goes the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because then where does it stop? Like everything's gonna start getting challenged. And if I wanted to watch a game get decided by review, I would just watch the NFL.
Yeah. Yep.
Burn.
It's got that too.
I don't know. And this is supposed to also prevent the Duchesne play that happened 2 years ago.
Which I had a picture of saved on my phone.
Which it's funny because I was looking for that same thing, and I guess people tweeted him saying like, "Good job, Duchesne."
It's all your
blew
fault.
it. Yeah, it's you and the ref's fault for that. All of this.
Yeah.
And it's extremely frustrating when it's your team because it's happened to the Rangers, I think, 3 times.
Well, this most recent one was kind of really took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, because then, like, I don't know. Wait, did Pittsburgh score right after that on the Rangers? No, they did.
Not right away. I mean, the Rangers didn't play like they should have won anyway, but I think what happened with that goal really changed the tone of the game.
Yeah.
They had 17 shots. 4 shots in the third period against a rookie goaltender.
Yeah.
Was that his first NHL game?
No, that was his first playoff start, though.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know that.
It's like they didn't deserve to win, but that's a different topic. Sorry.
Well, the Rangers as a team blow my mind because they can play so well like they do in Game 2. And even Game 1, I thought they played pretty well. But then Game 3, they just looked awful.
Yeah. Hockey.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got sick again for like the 30th time within the last 4 months. It's pretty frustrating. So if I'm sniffling a lot and coughing, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to keep it down. I guess that's it. I don't know.
Well, how does that affect your gains?
Actually, it's funny you say that. I got sick Friday last week. I think it's because of stress from school, seasonal allergies, and lack of sleep because of the playoffs. Because I'm going to bed at like 3 every night.
Ugh.
So over the weekend, I actually gave myself Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for cheat days because when you're sick, you need more calories for your body to recover.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at such a deficit to begin with that I needed like more to recover. And I didn't gain any weight, and I didn't lift on Monday, Tuesday. So like I really gave my body as much time as it needs. I don't know. I don't really notice a difference, but
All this exercise talk is giving me a headache.
Eric, come to the gym with me.
Making me tired.
Fuck that.
That's it, though. I have nothing else to really.
Okay. We'll take a quick break and be back with what we played and feedback in just a moment. Okay, Wiz.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
All right, Wool.
Well,
My name's Wool.
It's just me. Wow. What's going on in the chat? Who's listening? Cam show. Ooh. It's not a bad idea. Get your money's worth. Thumbstick athletes will have hit a new low if that's what's going on in here. I can tell you that. Pays the bills. Oh boy. I think the bill total is going to have to be pretty damn low for that to pay anything off.
all right. Eric, do you want
Yep.
to do an episode on Ratchet and Clank next week? Because you didn't talk about it that much last week, did you?
I'm trying to think if there's enough to talk about.
Okay. Because I don't think nothing new is coming out that we could cover next week.
Let's try and brainstorm real quick at what else we could do.
Okay.
What else is there?
Star Fox is coming out Friday. I'm not getting that right away.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
It's getting like 7s.
Yeah. Giant Bomb gave it 2 stars.
Oh, did they 2 out of what, 5?
Yeah.
4?
Same thing they gave Quantum Break. And it was Riker. He's the one that loves Nintendo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I believe on the podcast he said it made him question whether or not the first one was even any good.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, I mean, I guess back in the day, it was impressive. Star Fox
Right.
64 was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get it
And
eventually.
I'm sending you the feedback.
Okay. I have no ideas for next week.
I don't either.
I had 3 computers to build this week.
Oh,
So
did you?
Yeah, that's why I've been not having much time for gaming.
How's that going?
Good.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, actually, it's not going well. 2 of them had issues. One of them, we got the wrong motherboard sent to us to ship it back, and then the one I was building today, the wiring was bad for the US front panel USB ports, and it was
Okay.
causing the motherboard to shut down. So we have to ship that case back and get another one, which is ridiculous.
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, I just don't know if there's enough to really talk about with Ratchet and Clank to do, an
To have
episode.
a full episode.
Yeah.
Wool.
Whoa.
Wool.
Well,
Any ideas for an episode next week?
I actually did today, but now I can't remember what it was.
Come on, Will.
Whenever you have an idea, immediately text it to our group message. 'Cause one of us will remember, or we could scroll back through it.
It's gonna bother me. I did have one though. It was while I was running, and I was like, "That's a good idea for a podcast."
Mm-hmm. I asked Eric if he wanted to do Ratchet and Clank, but he doesn't think there's enough. So, have you played Ratchet and Clank yet, Will?
I actually might start tonight.
Okay.
It's not meaty. It's just fun.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't think there's enough to cover there,
I really don't. We could do listener's choice again. We haven't done that in a while.
yeah.
Host choice is always an option. Will, of course, will be talking about porn and VR for his.
I'd love
Host
to do
choice.
research.
I'll probably just talk Fallout 4 again.
We could just do another Clash Royale episode.
We could do Clash
I have to
Royale
talk
part.
about that.
Just throw in the towel.
I think you guys know that I deleted it, but
No, I knew you were thinking about it.
Yeah, you were close last week. You hadn't officially
You did it.
deleted it.
yep, I sure did.
Welcome to the club, Will.
There's so much jank in that game that I just was like, I'm done.
Is there?
It's just like, I don't think I ever deserve to lose.
Mm.
So I get really angry when I do lose.
So when you lost every 3 minutes, it was just too much.
Yeah, like I would get to Arena 5, and then I'd get to like almost 1,600 trophies, and then I'd lose consecutively in a row back to Arena 3.
Oh.
Or Arena 4, and I just keep repeating. And it was just like, I've made no progress. I'm not going to deal with this.
What's that windiness? Who's got windiness going on?
I don't hear any windiness.
I don't either.
What's up, Savage? It's really windy.
Really?
Oh, I think it's one of you guys. One of you two. Jabronis.
What?
I
Windiness.
don't hear it.
I don't either.
Or neither. Any ideas for an episode next week, Corey?
Was anybody
Well, we
going to play
haven't.
the Banner Saga?
Not before next week. I'm gonna play it, but
Yeah, Sam, at some point.
Dark Souls, you know.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
Ratchet and
Wait,
Clank.
I asked
No,
it. He didn't
it's
think
not
there was-
meaty enough.
Starbound.
Rocket League.
Is
Savage is onto something.
Is Starbound
Rocket-
out of early access?
No, of course not.
They said it could be months.
You're right.
I know they said it was going to, but
What was I thinking?
Rocket League Revisited, featuring the new NBA
We could
DLC.
we could call the episode Star Fox Zero, and then when we start, we can all just say, "Oh, I didn't get a chance to play it," and then just do the rest of the episode.
there you go.
It's not a bad idea.
Let's all just play something wacky. And we'll talk about each of them. We'll call it Wacky Wednesdays.
Wacky, yeah. We'll play a random backlog game.
Yeah.
Wacky.
I kind
Week.
of like that a lot.
That's not a bad idea, Eric.
See, every now and again, I have one.
I like it. Corey,
Yeah,
you on board?
I'm on board.
We'll
Right.
call it like
Except it'll be
backlog,
on Thursday.
backlog Thursday.
Turnt Thursday.
What's a TH word we can use? Throwback Thursday.
Only if you
Wool
play-
Wednesday.
Wool. Curry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll come up with a clever name.
We'll come up with a name, but that's what the topic will be. And I
All
love. That's a great idea.
Every now and again.
Mine will be Heroes of the
Genius.
Storm.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might get back into Rocket League this week and use that.
Use
Okay.
that game.
Get real wild with it.
I'll play some Rocket League with you.
Please.
Friday?
Oh, you too.
Dude, literally. Oh, well, I'll talk about. Yeah, Friday
I'll
for sure.
I'll play Rocket League Friday night.
Dude, let's do it. Please. I've been staying up fairly late.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in.
Rocket League. God.
Savage. What are you playing Rocket League on, my man? Apologies if I already know the answer to this. I have a terrible memory.
Steam. Didn't you add them on Steam last week?
Was that Savage?
Was that last week or was that 2 weeks ago? I think it was
Dan,
Savage.
I have no clue. You know what? Yeah, I think you're right.
I feel like it was at the end of the episode, like last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Savage, did I add you to my Steam friends? Corey, didn't we get in a big argument about the consoles? Was
No.
that at the Thummies?
No, we agreed.
Are you sure? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
was Dan and Will that were pissing me off.
was me and Will.
About
That's
what?
right.
Me and Wool.
What'd I do?
During the Thummies, the console wars were real that night.
Yeah, they were quite the fight.
2 years ago, we argued a little bit about it, but not as much as last year's argument.
Because Nintendo didn't win this time.
Okay. Yeah. Well, 2 years ago, it was arguing over who won second place.
Yeah,
because
that's
the
what the
loser won.
argument was about.
Like, guys, this is not even about the winner. We
Doesn't
already have
matter, Dan. It's about the conversation.
it. It is.
We're playing Friday night Rocket League.
Yeah, I'm in for some
All right,
Rocket.
Savage is gonna play with us then.
Cool.
I thought of
actually thought my skills.
a idea for our video presence. Do
Or
like
lack thereof.
do like a nightcap thing on like Saturday nights.
Nightcap.
Late, like a late show.
Nightcap with the athletes. How late?
Hey,
Yeah,
Benny.
that's
Like
That's
11 or midnight. I know Dan
now
would
I
do
work
it.
at
Oh
I
yeah,
work at 7:30 on Sunday.
I'm in.
How you doing, Benny? Yeah. All right, Corey.
Yeah.
I don't know about that late for me.
Well, we can discuss it. I just thought because who does the up all night stream? I think that's just like a brilliant idea.
Up all night.
It's like on Twitch. It's
I'm not familiar.
for the insomniacs.
There's a few of them. There's Streamer House, which streams like 24 hours a day, every day.
I should apply for Streamer House.
Why?
Don't you fucking dare.
Why?
You'd have to play. You'd have to play like for the longest time. They only played Destiny, and now I think they pretty much only play the Division. I haven't watched in a while,
Could
but
sell them on Hearthstone.
maybe, I don't know. It's usually whatever game is most topical. Like, I don't know, maybe right now they're playing Dark Souls. Who knows? But it's usually topical and stuff that has like a following. You know.
I got a beer.
Saw that.
I did too. I need to keep my mouth from getting dry. I never talk this much when I'm not doing a podcast. So
The black
Yeah.
and gold. Who's
What's
black
that?
and gold?
Bruins.
In the
Like-
chat. No, he said not the damn Bruins. Is there another one?
Penguins.
Oh.
What are we looking at?
Blech.
Eric.
Blech.
Is it? Who are they playing?
What?
The Blues and
The Blues and Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, Corey.
No, in the stream. Black and Gold Blues.
What are you talking about?
It's the Blues.
Corey, are you drunk?
St. Louis Blues, 1988, Black and Gold.
That was their uniforms?
It's blue and gold.
I need to be in the chat. I just realized.
Can we just
I
move
don't know
on?
what Corey's talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know
Corey's
what I'm talking
hammered.
about.
He's had a sip of beer and he's hammered.
Ooh, I've had enough sun this week where that probably is the case.
Throwback
Sun-
Penguins.
Throwback Penguins.
Johnny.
Man,
Johnny's cracking me up.
I wish I was alive in the 80s, like sentient for hockey in the 80s.
Yeah, I have some memories of early '90s hockey. Like I remember when the Montreal Canadiens beat the LA Kings.
Oh man, that's
First
good.
80s hockey name that comes to name. Go. Quick.
Mike Bossy.
Yeah, it's bossy.
Corey.
Too
late. It's gone.
Gone.
Trottier. Any of the Islanders, really.
I was hoping for a good fun name.
Gretzky.
Like
Yari
Abdul
Curry.
Kader.
Yari Curry.
Abdul Kader.
All right, let's get started. Let's get back.
Alrighty.
To this. All right, here we go.
Wait.
5, 4, 3.
Wait.
What?
Slow the
What?
F down.
What? Are you not ready?
Give me a second.
You're such a diva.
He is, isn't he?
Paul Coffey.
You.
Okay.
Paul Coffey.
I couldn't think of the name. I had to look it up. Go ahead,
Okay,
Dan.
now we ready? All right.
Ray Bork.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Wendell
1.
Clark.
Welcome back, everybody. Episode 248 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in what we played. I'm gonna demand that we talk about Overwatch first. So Will and Eric can kind of cover this. I really want to hear about it. I've been wanting to play. I kept praying and hoping that Blizzard would let me into their beta, but they just didn't. So
Again.
again. Well, I mean, I've never been one to sing their praises, but still, they could have given me a shot here. But anyway, go ahead and talk about it, you guys.
Dan,
Mm-hmm.
let me first start by saying, and I mean this, it's the best shooter I've played in years.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, the matches are such a good pace and length, and choosing between the different heroes just adds such a new layer to it for me. I've never played a shooter like this before. I know it's similar to Team Fortress from what I understand,
Mhm.
but I've never played that before, so it's all new to me.
Don't say that
And-
on the Overwatch subreddit.
Yeah.
Well,
The people
You
get
know.
like violent over
Well, I
that.
said from what I understand. That's not from my experience. I don't know.
They don't care.
It's
Fuck
like
'em. I don't give a
saying
shit.
it's like saying Hearthstone is like Magic the Gathering.
Which it's
It is.
Magic the Gathering light.
It is. But don't say that.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck those people. I don't care.
Seriously.
Yeah, but it's just, Dan, it's just so fun. And like some of the stuff that you can pull off, I was playing with McCree, who is the Western gunslinger, who I had my eye on since I saw his character reveal.
Mhm.
And sure enough, I fell right in love with him. And like his attacks, you can either shoot like a single shot, that's your left attack. Your right mouse button attack it unloads whatever's left in your clip. So if you've got a full 6 rounds in there, it unloads all of them, which obviously would make it harder to control with your accuracy, as it should. But man, you can really polish somebody off with a good 6 shooter if you can hold your accuracy down. And he has a flashbang grenade that will stun enemies. So if you can pull off a couple of quick shots, stun them, and then just unload the rest of your clip real quick, you can really polish some people off. But they all have drawbacks, so I didn't try too many characters. But with McCree, like, he's not very fast, and there's one other drawback. Oh, he's pretty bad from a distance. You'd have to be pretty damn accurate from a distance, which I was able to do a couple of times, and that feels really nice when you can pull off a good distance kill with a revolver.
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
pistol sniping from Halo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why I liked it so much. It harkened back. Aside from the actual gameplay, which is like super fast and frantic and amazing with all the different abilities, it's very simple too, because each character, it doesn't take a lot to get into the game, because each character only has, 3, maybe 4 attacks, with a couple of them being cool abilities. So it's kind of like Heroes of the Storm is for MOBAs. It's very easy to get into, which I liked about it, and I don't feel like I'm gonna have to play it all the time to be really good at it because there's not that crazy level of depth to it, which is really nice. And that's what I'm looking for right now. Is a kind of a shallow game that's just really fun and well made, and the gameplay is really tight. So each character also has what are they called, Will? Like with the special attacks.
I've always just called them ultimates or alt.
Yeah.
It's just I'm so used to it from MOBAs at this point that I just call it my alt.
So McCree's ultimate attack, which is it's a thing that gets charged up over time. I'm assuming it's based off of how well you play, along with a certain amount of time. His is when you hit it, a big circle appears on the screen, and you have to hold at least one enemy in that circle for a short amount of time, and then a little skull will appear over them. And when you hit the fire button again, it just immediately kills him. So he pops off. However many skulls appear in the screen, he pops off that many kills, and it's just awesome. So at the end of the match, it will show the play of the game, and it highlights one character and an awesome play they had. So I actually got that one or two times with McCree by pulling off an ultimate attack that killed 3-4 guys at a time.
Nice.
So those highlights are really cool at the end of the game, and you can also pick the MVP at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Which was a fun part of it too, because it will show, say, like Johnny, for instance, he plays the healer role. He used Mercy. So it will show what percentage of damage he was able to heal for our team. Like one game we were playing, it was with a random character or random guy using Mercy, healed 49% of the damage that we took as a team, which I could not believe.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Johnny, I think he said he got up to 48 one time, which is awesome. But yeah, so it'll show that. It will show the person that had the most eliminations. It'll show like your tank role players, which Will did pretty frequently using Reinhardt, who's like this big mech. And he puts up a shield in front of the team to just kind of like trudge behind the slow moving robot with this giant shield so you can't get hit. So it shows how much damage you soaked for the team. So it can show like you're playing your role, Johnny's playing his role, I'm playing my role as damage dealer. And it shows all that at the end of the game, which is really cool. And you can vote for who the MVP was.
Keep it within the team.
Yeah, you always got to vote for somebody on your team. If you don't, you're a real prick.
Oh yeah.
And one of the other things that's really cool is there's loot crates. So you unlock these loot boxes, and it has skins for characters in it, different voiceovers for the characters. But my personal favorite was different spray paints. So every character starts off with just a basic Overwatch logo spray paint. But my favorite one that I unlocked was using McCree. There's a pixel art, like 8-bit version of McCree, and he spray paints it on the ground. Each character has these 8-bit pixels, by the way, and I unlocked a few of them, and they're fantastic. And we made kind of a game out of it, because before the match starts, you all are just like in this room, fucking around, shooting basketballs and soccer balls, punching stuff, spray painting the wall with your little logo, and it's just really fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Will, go ahead. Take over.
Yeah. I played this game probably, I think it was in November or December, I want to say, when they did their first like open beta for it, or open weekend. And they have improved on this game like tenfold from when I played it. Because when I played it back then, it wasn't, I don't want to say boring, because it wasn't, but I didn't have as much fun then as I did now. Even when I played it alone now, like I had more fun than I did like when I played it back then. So I played a lot, like I played Reinhardt, like Eric said, which I don't know why, but I always did really well with him. I don't know if he's like an overpowered character, but for whatever reason, I just excelled with him. I think it just kind of fits my take play style where I just throw up the shield and soak all the damage so Eric can pick off people as McCree.
Well, try to.
Attempted.
Yeah.
And then I would play Tracer, who I think is one of my favorite characters to play in any game that I played in like a really long time. I just have so much fun with that character because what she does is she blinks around the map. So like you can really just mess with people by teleporting in different spots, and you get a 3 charge for a teleport, so you can do it 3 times before it has to do a recharge. And then your one ability is an E ability where you recall, so like you rewind time and you're like back in another spot. So literally you can just mess with the other team so effectively, and it's so much fun because it's hard to get her.
Let me tell you, when I was playing as Reinhardt because we needed a tank, somebody on the other team was playing as Tracer and just fucking with me so bad because Reinhardt is this slow plotting idiot mech and Tracer is just super fast, zipping around every side of me, and I couldn't get a clean hit on her because by the time Reinhardt turned around the next day, she was clearly gone. And she was just fucking with me so bad, and that leaves you exposed to the entire rest of the team can just see you spinning around in circles like an idiot.
Yeah.
Trying to hit Tracer when I'm just clearly not going to.
That's a good image.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The way that you can use all the different players and heroes and their abilities. I cannot fucking wait for that game to come out.
You can also swap out mid-match too, which is neat.
That's right, Dan. That's a good point because, like, say you're just having a really tough go of it. Like if I was McCree and I was sucking, which happened. Actually, a better example of this, I was using Reinhardt. I was being the tank for the team because nobody else picked one. And I'm not as good with Reinhardt as Will was, and I was just getting my ass kicked. So like midway through, I was like, "Well, you take over with Reinhardt because you're really good with him," and I switched to a damage dealer because that's what Will was. So you can switch it up based off of how well you're doing with the character, or if you feel like your team needs more balance or needs more damage, needs more healing, whatever it is. It's really cool that you're able to switch up mid match whenever you want.
Yeah, it's kind of like it gives you the on the fly like adjustments that you see like in like sports and like online games and stuff like that you can just like quickly swap into like another hero and be able to contribute to the team. Like one match I was playing, I don't remember who I was playing. I think I was Genji, which is another character, but I wasn't doing so hot with him, so I switched to Widowmaker, who is another character I really liked, and she's a sniper. And like I did so much better, and like there was way more. I was able to like help the team way more being Widowmaker than I was Genji. So like even if you're just getting it handed to you, just switching your character is enough to be able to like help out the team.
Yeah, it's. I wish it probably wouldn't work as well in a MOBA, but it'd be kind of cool. Like if mid match I was sucking balls with Vala and not doing my job like usual, and I could switch up and play a tank character instead and see how that goes for you. It's the same kind of thing. But I could not have had more fun playing that game, and like it's just exactly what I'm looking for right now. A quick, fast pace, just fun, cool characters, cool abilities, teamwork, but not too much teamwork where it's like you got to be super strategic, but there's enough there,
Yeah.
Building a good, solid team with different roles. Like, oh, God, I love it.
We only ran into one jerk online.
No.
Yeah.
Only one.
Oh, it's still early. If you remember the early days of Heroes of the Storm.
That's
super early.
He kept on giving Johnny a hard time for not jumping into the middle of battle as a healer and dying.
It's really cool playing Mercy too. I tried Mercy when Johnny got offline, playing as a healer because she has this like, I don't know how I would describe it. It's like almost like a laser, like a lightning comes out of your weapon, this long rifle-looking weapon, and you point it at somebody and you hold down the mouse button, and it just sends like a stream of health to this person. And it will show up on your map like people that are down because her ultimate ability is the ability to revive a down teammate. So that's a really cool one. And so say somebody's at full health, but it's the only partner that you're near. When you put your health stream on them, it gives them a damage boost. So you're not feeling totally useless if nobody needs to be healed. Mm-hmm. And the other cool thing that she does is she can fly to one of your teammates across the map. I think you have to just be able to see them and have like a line to them, and you can fly to them. So each character's got some really cool abilities. I'm looking forward to getting a little more into the different characters and trying them out.
Yeah, Eric, there's actually a character that I wanted to try, but I didn't get a chance because I didn't get to play as much on the second day. But do you remember I think her name is May, and she does the ice stuff, like
That's
freezing.
the one I wanted to try. I was just
Yeah.
going to say that. Because
Yeah,
I kept getting fucked over by her.
Yeah, because what she can do is her gun is it's like a ice gun, and she shoots like streams of like cold air that freezes the enemy if like you like hit them enough with it. But her other abilities is she can bring up an ice wall. So if like at the start of the match, everybody who comes out of that like little building where Eric was talking about, where you screw around for the first like 30 seconds, she can ice wall that entrance, and everybody's trapped in there, and like you can set up an ambush for when they come out, which is really really cool.
You can block off like a specific entrance to the area that you're trying to control. Like you can block off a part of that so the team literally can't get through there for a period of time.
Yeah.
So you know where they're going to be coming from.
Yep. I think she's a defense hero.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, she is a defense hero.
So yeah, there's a couple game modes that we tried. There was like an area of control. So each team would just go there and try to control it longer than the other team. And then the one I liked the best was the escort. So there was like, what would it be called?
It's called payload, I think.
A payload, yeah. So you're just kind of escorting it along a track.
Yeah.
To get to a goal. So you just have to stand near it. And when you're near it, it moves along the track. The whole time, the other team is coming to try and stop you and kill you, obviously. But I just found that one to be really fun.
And we didn't even like get to play all of the maps and game modes. Like I think we only played 3 different maps, and I know there's definitely way more than that.
Yeah.
So.
But man, can I see this one being a money hole for me? Buying skins and shit. Oh God.
That's
brutal.
My question. Like, and maybe you answered it. I apologize if you did already. But what's the outside of game like long-term goal in Overwatch? Like, are you leveling up?
Yeah, you level up like your account like you do in Heroes of the Storm.
Okay.
And you unlock loot boxes while leveling up and stuff like that. Which will unlock skins and like the spray painting stuff and different victory poses and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is stuff I'm really into for whatever reason. I don't really know why, but like the idea of being able to change my character's skin is so cool to me. And every time I get on Heroes of the Storm, no matter how long it's been since I've played it, I want to buy every one of them that I see.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't know. It's just such a, like I've already got my eye on 2 of McCree's skins that just look so badass.
So Overwatch is a buy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is a must buy.
So there's like a quote unquote open beta that you get for pre-ordering. When does that start? Do you guys know? It's early May, right?
May
May
2nd?
2nd or 3rd. I don't know. One of those.
So like 2 weeks.
Yeah. When's
Wow.
the game out?
May 24th.
Yeah.
Wow.
3rd.
So will we get to play from May 2nd or 3rd on until release day?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I'm gonna pre-order it like
That's boner inducing.
within the next week or so. I'm gonna be pre-ordering it too. So
Sweet. Corey, are you getting it?
I don't know. I'd like to try it first. Still.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, you could try it on one of our accounts. I'm sure.
I like. I mean, the way you guys describe it, it sounds really nice, but I just need to experience it for myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've watched enough on Twitch to know that I want it. I've watched quite a bit on Twitch. So
I'll tell you, I'm watching a video right now, and I'm getting a little bit motion
A
ill.
little queasy.
Yeah.
It's very fast paced.
Yeah, it is.
I'm actually gonna,
I
actually gonna pause it because it's legitimately making me
Oh no.
dizzy.
I do want everybody to check out the animated shorts that they put out too, which
I've watched
are.
of them.
Did you?
Yeah, they're excellent.
The first one was about Winston and Reaper, which is another character in the game, and it kind of tugged at the heartstrings a little bit seeing little baby monkey Winston, because Winston's
the man.
is a great character. And then the second one is Tracer and Widowmaker, and like that's a really like cool one too.
Yep, I watched that one. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
And I think it tells the backstory of like why they're fighting.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth checking out. They're really cool, and Blizzard does a great job with the cinematic stuff. Like,
Yep.
So I definitely
Blizzard.
recommend it.
Blizzard nails it, man.
I was telling Eric when we were playing Overwatch, do you remember when we used to hate on Blizzard when we started?
Oh god, we used to shit on Blizzard.
I still do.
You still do, yes, but I can't. I mean, Diablo 3,
I'm one of the
Heroes
few.
of the Storm, Overwatch now.
I mean,
For me.
I still really like Heroes of the Storm. I just don't have the patience.
I totally get that, Dan.
for it.
Totally get it.
Yeah, I do too.
But I was actually able to play, so that's saying something.
So I feel like we've covered Overwatch, yeah, Will?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I guess I just wanted to kind of flow into another fast-paced shooter beta that I tried this week, which was Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so I tried the Doom beta on PS4, and I actually liked it a lot more than I was anticipating. I had read some things, and it kind of seemed as though it was getting shit on a little bit. I had a really good time with it, and I was actually really good at it, which I was surprised because I don't know, I'm not usually good at shooters anymore. Those days have come and gone.
You aged out of shooters.
Yeah, I did. But it was super fast paced, and like it was pretty brutal when you would melee kill somebody. You'd like rip their arm off and hit them upside the head with it and stuff like that. And I don't know. It was just another really fun shooter. I'm really into the fast paced thing right now. It's been really fun. The weapons were okay. There was nothing, remarkable about it. I didn't come away saying, holy shit, that was like I did with Overwatch.
Right.
But, it was just, I thought it was well made, felt good, didn't feel clunky at all. So the weapons were pretty cool. I was using the shotgun, as most people were. But the rocket launcher was pretty sweet too. But man, that shotgun was awfully satisfying when you'd come up on somebody's ass from behind and just blow them apart. But
Nice.
I don't know if I'll get Doom. Really depends. I don't remember when that's supposed to come out. It depends what else is coming out around that time.
It's in May. It's like maybe the 3rd. I think it's
that's
before Overwatch.
Because Overwatch will be out, and then Uncharted's coming out.
Oh yeah, Uncharted.
So, yeah, I had a good time with Doom. I probably played 5 or 6 matches. So,
What was the biggest complaint people had? It's too slow.
really, I mean, granted, I never played the other ones, so for me, it wasn't.
I think Doom fans thought it was slow.
Yeah.
But
I like that though. I want it to be nice and slow.
You wouldn't? Yeah, well, maybe you'd like it. I don't know. It seemed pretty fast to me.
You play anything else, Eric?
Yeah, I did. Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah.
For PS4. That is, oh man, it's not better than Bloodborne, but it's definitely 1A and 1B for best exclusive on the PS4, without a question. For me, it was just so fun. I literally could not stop playing it. I told Will I was trying to beat it. Was it Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday. I thought I was close, but it turned out I wasn't, and I ended up staying up till midnight, which I never do. And I played it straight, like, all day. When we weren't playing Overwatch, I was playing Ratchet and Clank. And I just could not stop. I never got sick of it. It was just so much fun. The weapons are so cool. 2 of my favorite weapons, one of them is called the Groovatron, and what that does is when you shoot it, it puts up a big disco ball and starts playing this like techno music. So all the enemies in the area just dance.
Cool.
And stop attacking you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And what I would do is I would hit them with the Groovatron, and then I would use, I wish I could remember what this gun was called, but what it does is when you shoot, it transforms them into pixel art. So they look like Minecraft characters almost. And then if you blow them up with another gun, all the pixels fall to the ground. So they stay in pixel form even after you kill them.
Nice.
Which I thought was a really nice touch. But yeah, I mean, the weapons are so cool. The techno was it just fit into the battle really well. It fit like the mood of the game really well when you're in the middle of these battles. The story was kind of fun. It wasn't anything outrageous. And this is the first Ratchet and Clank game I had ever played, so I didn't know anything about it or what the story was. I guess it's like a reimagining of the story, told from a different perspective, from Captain Quark. But yeah, like I said, it's not a meaty game by any means, but it looks fantastic, dude. It's one of the best looking games. Like I said, it looks like you're playing a Pixar movie. There are actually scenes from the movie that's coming out in it, incorporated into it. It makes me want to see the movie, and I really hope that they redo some of the other Ratchet and Clanks, because I would buy them in a heartbeat. And this is only a $40 game.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's new game plus mode to it. You upgrade all your weapons, so it's got some of the RPG stuff there. But like, it's just so good. There's a lot of collectibles, Dan, which I know you would appreciate.
Oh yeah.
So there's these big golden bolts throughout the world. I think there's 28 of them, and the number that you find allows you to unlock certain things like cheats or different. One of the really cool things is filters. So different color filters you can put on the world, which I found one that I really liked, and I can't remember what it was called, but I ended up taking a screenshot in that filter after I had beat the game, and it just looks so good. Oh, it's one of my favorite games that I've played in a while.
Nice.
And I really think that by the end of the year, it's going to be right up there for Game of the Year for me. I liked it that much.
I like to hear that.
Yeah. Well, I think you're just going to love it.
I'm definitely starting it either tonight or tomorrow because I really want to play this game.
It's just one of those games when you're done playing it, you're just like, God, that was just such a pleasure to play, you know?
Yeah. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank.
I tweeted Insomniac after I was done. I was like, thank you for that, because that was just amazing. And they're a great developer, man. They put that out in Sunset Overdrive, two of my favorite exclusives on either system.
Oh yeah,
Boy, are they fucking nailing it. They're nailing it. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Rocket League and sucking really bad.
Nice.
My skills in Rocket League have gone down significantly lately, and I'm not sure what's going on, but it's pissing me off.
That Virginia internet.
It is. That's what it is. I'm gonna start blaming it on that.
Dropping some
I
packets.
got into a match tonight before we started recording with this real douchey guy. His name was Isaiah C. something. If you ever come up against him, he's a real prick, and you will know immediately because he's that guy that wants to make comments to everybody the entire match.
Ugh.
And
I'm that guy when I play.
of course, I kept getting in matches with him from that point on. So him and I are just going back and forth with each other. Anytime one of us would miss a shot, it was, oh, nice shot. You know, just going back and forth with each other.
Yep.
Which can be fun, but he was pissing me off. But yeah, he was right. I'm pretty bad at Rocket League now.
Don't let him get to you.
Whatever. I did play with Tito this past weekend. That was good times. We played 2-on-2 with a couple of buddies of his. I actually played pretty well then. But for whatever reason, when I'm playing with randoms online, I've just been doing so bad.
Oh.
And the only other thing I played was FIFA. Jeff and I still trying to make that trek to the Division I championship. We're having a bitch of a time. FIFA's kind of a shitty game. Very janky.
Downhill.
Well, there is a rumor that I've been made aware of that they try to even out your wins and losses.
Oh yeah.
Matchmaking.
And yeah, we've started to notice, like, you can almost tell right from the beginning, as soon as a ball goes your way, it seems like it goes your way the rest of the game, and vice versa. If that first whatever the instance is doesn't go your way, it's gonna happen the rest of the game, and you're just kind of fucked. Which makes me not want to play FIFA.
Yeah.
But I also love soccer.
Sounds like Hearthstone Clash Royale.
Yeah. It's
I was
infuriating.
thinking more NHL, but
Yeah, NHL too.
Yeah, so I feel like it takes a little bit of the skill out of the game, and that kills it for me a little bit. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that's what I've been up to. I don't know what I'm going to do now, because I've literally been coming home. I get home at 6 o'clock. I've been sitting at my television playing Rocket League until 10 o'clock when I go to bed.
Wow.
That is what I've been doing since I beat Ratchet and Clank.
Uh-huh. Oh, you beat it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
I beat it. Yeah,
right.
I didn't even say that.
It's been a while
Matt.
since. Oh no, Dan's
As
been
it
beating
looks.
games.
Yeah. It has been quite a while since I had a beaten game, but that one I just couldn't put it down. Couldn't put it down.
That's a good sign.
I can't wait to see what you think of it. Well, I think you'll love it.
That's what I'm looking
Oh.
for, Eric. A game that pace doesn't slow down. Just consistent all the way
Oh.
through.
You'd love it then. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
That's what I need.
And the environments are so good. So good. And they're varied. There's like hoverboard competitions. There's like grinding along rails. There's just it's just so good.
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna play that. Well.
It's I think it's like a 9-hour game. Could knock it out a couple sittings.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me, Dan.
Groovatron. I'm surprised they didn't call it Disco Blast.
Oh man.
Like if it
what
was
a cool
if
weapon.
it was the Quantum Break Riders, it would have been Disco Blast.
Yeah, right. Music hit.
Hey.
And any one of the enemies will dance, even like the big bosses, which looks hilarious.
That's great.
Like you fight these big like squid things. I was like, I wonder if this thing's actually gonna dance. Sure as shit, started dancing.
I like it.
So good.
All right, well, what'd you play?
I quit Clash Royale.
Well done.
Well done.
I just got so fed up because I was not progressing and I didn't want to deal with another month of just going between Arena 5 and Arena 4 because I would get like 1,500 trophies to 1,600 trophies and then I would drop all the way down to 1,300. It was just repeating and I wasn't having fun. I was starting to get angry. So I said I'm going to delete it for now and come back to it when there's been months of updates done to it to see if they make it a little bit better and more worth playing every day than it was now. So I'm officially quit Clash Royale after like 2 months of playing it.
Shut up, Corey.
I'm watching the footage from the Helsinki tournament on April
Oh.
16th.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I don't.
What do you mean it's embarrassing? Fuck off.
So bad.
What is bad about it?
It's just watching these grown ass men tapping on these tablets
Just
Corey's
tap-
absolutely right.
and reacting.
He's absolutely
like,
right. Look at that guy's name is Steroidy69. Go fucking kill yourself, dude. Do everyone a favor.
Oh man.
We don't,
You absolute pud.
we don't need any steroidy 69s running around in this world.
I kind of like them.
Oh, and they got the shoutcasters going and everything. Good grief.
He's part of the Musja Mafia too. So sweet, dude.
Will's a
Really
trophy NR of 3,351. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a ton, actually.
How
Yeah.
much Clash Royale do you think these boys are playing?
Probably every day for like 8 hours.
Ugh.
Because you
I
need
hope
to.
Steroidy didn't win.
Well, Eric, guess what?
Did he win?
I don't know. But I know the people in the ski bums are very upset because I quit, Evan quit, and my friend Tim quit. So, like, we all...
They're
down a
far
bunch
more
of
upset to
members.
see me delete my account. I think I was bottom of the table.
Well,
Tough to see a member like that go.
there's only, like, 4 active members. 5, maybe? At this point. I don't know. Maybe more. Because I forgot how many people were there when I quit.
There was like 17 or 18 when I quit, but that was like a month ago.
So 5 of us have left.
You know what though? It is a good game.
Clash?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I didn't
know,
mind
it's-
it. Was all the micro transaction bullshit around it that I hated.
I just lose interest.
Yeah.
If I could separate my anger in video games with something like that, I would play it way more, but it just made me want to jump out my window.
Man, Corey, you're absolutely right. This is a disaster.
So, you know how we were talking about, like, outsiders looking in and being like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, this is it. Yep. Look at these two guys.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
Steroidy one.
Are they like
Look at him,
yelling
look
at
at
each other? Let me guess, he barely took down a tower.
Oh, yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was too many of those where just one tower would be taken down.
I can't tell you the amount of times I won or lost 1-0.
Yeah.
Look at this
And, like,
guy.
If somebody played a tower on the game, like anywhere, the game stopped. Like,
Oh, this is great.
so basically, you're playing for. Oh, that's another thing. I was getting like 5 or 6 draws in a row too. And I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to deal with this right now.
why do they have to sit in these chairs? What is?
Corey, check it out. They're on the throne, man. Oh,
What'd you
man.
play? What else did you play, Will?
God.
I've been trudging along Fire Emblem Conquest. Still really good. I think I'm on chapter 18-ish, maybe. And I know there's 27 chapters for like all of the games, so a little over halfway, 20 hours into the game.
Nice.
Basically just kind of working on my team that I'm going to use for the rest of the game and have them leveled up to a good enough level to be effective, because I do get my butt handed to me in fights.
Yeah.
It's basically like the nobles in the game, what's the word I'm looking for? Nobles, the kids from
The royal
Garon.
family type.
The royal, yeah, the royal family is basically what keeps me into winning battles, because like Xander, Leo, Camila, and are all like really strong, and Elise is a really good healer.
Uh huh.
So we all just kind of roll together, and then the rest of it is a free for all.
One quick question, Will.
Yeah, what's up?
So I know when you first started, you asked me how dare I side with Nor. Do you kind of understand now? Like, it kind of makes sense, like what Corrin is trying to do.
Yeah,
From
they
Corrin's perspective.
they definitely know something's up. Corrin knows what's up. Xander definitely does, because there's like something that happens, and Xander goes, "Yeah, Garon's not gonna find out about this, or we're all dead."
Right.
And there was like lines with Camila or whatever was saying stuff like, "Yeah, we don't go against him because he'll kill us."
Right.
So like they all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I definitely understand why, or how that game is played with that. I'm very interested to see how Revelations plays out
Yeah.
too, because I know nothing about it.
Yep.
Next, I played and beat Quantum Break.
Hey.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks, Eric and Corey.
Good job, Will.
Man, list.
I still really liked it. The last part, the final boss fight, was I was watching the Blues and Blackhawks game. It was the game 2 while I was trying to play it. So like there's a lot going on in that game, and I was yelling at the computer screen and trying to do this boss fight. So I was dying a lot and getting really frustrated, and I kind of wanted to quit. But I knew I was at the end, so I pushed through it. So I don't know if it's just my lack of attention on the boss fight that made me not like it.
I heard it was bad.
Okay, so yeah, it's bad then. It wasn't just me. But overall, I did like Quantum Break. As I said, I liked the pacing in the game.
You're crazy.
Because I didn't have to do 8 to 10 hours of the same thing over and over again. I got to watch like 2 hours worth of TV.
Just terrible TV.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it.
You are willing to admit it was bad TV, though.
Yeah, I didn't think it was great at all.
Okay.
But
I saw all the episodes are on YouTube.
yeah,
Sure.
watch it, Corey.
I don't know, watch them.
You'll have no idea what's going on, but
Corey,
maybe
All 4 hours worth. Huh?
might I ask why you're showing AFI in the chat?
You said you turned to a life of grunge.
All right, you win. All right.
Nice.
Anyways.
When I think grunge, I think like Nirvana, not necessarily AFI.
Courtney Love did
But
it.
back to Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break. And the last thing is Heroes of the Storm. I played a lot of that. Tracer came out. Basically, how she plays in Overwatch is how she plays in Heroes. She has the 3 blink moves, so you can kind of zip around and and really you can avoid with any attacks in the game with the blinks. And then her next ability is a melee. Then it is her rewind ability, so she like just kind of teleports back to like where she started. And then her ultimate is pulse bomb, which is what it is in Overwatch, and she gets it from level 1, but it's fairly weak. And it kind of like what she gets it from just shooting enemies like she does in Overwatch. Basically, her kit from Overwatch is just put it into Heroes of the Storm. They did a really good job with it, and I've seen some pretty awesome like plays with her.
Do you think they plan that ahead of time for the Overwatch characters?
Yes, my guess is yeah, because I think the transition is like
Seamless.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive. I know a lot of people are on the she's overpowered train, but everybody says that when a new hero gets in because nobody knows. Right. Nobody knows how to play it yet, so like it's automatically how dare Blizzard put in overpowered heroes just to cash in, which is annoying. Which is like that all the time. God. But she's great. Definitely, my favorite heroes have changed a lot in that game since I last played a lot, because it's still Sylvanas, but they kind of ruined Nova, so I don't play Nova very much anymore. But right now it's Li Ming and Tracer Storm.
Love it.
All right. Did you play anything, Corey?
Nope, just Dark Souls and Hearthstone. But
yep, I only played Dark Souls 2, so I have nothing to share for what I played. All right, let's get into feedback, shall we?
Let's.
And Hearthstone. But
yep, I only played Dark Souls 2, so I have nothing to share for what I played. All right, let's get into feedback, shall we?
Let's.
All right. The first is from Idaho Jake, who says, "Hey guys, I just can't stop playing Fallout 4, and I really need to get to my backlog, so help me out. Here's a list of what I should play before No Man's Sky: Last of Us, Dragon Age Inquisition, Tomb Raider, Sunset Overdrive, Life is Strange, The Banner Saga, and Bound by Flames."
Jacob, I would ask, have you played The Last of Us? Or, he's the one that had the corrupted save file, isn't he?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if that's true, I would pick The Last of Us. And if it's not that, it would be Sunset Overdrive for me.
Okay. Corey?
I'm going to say Inquisition.
Inquisition?
Corey.
It's a good game.
What is your problem, Corey?
I don't know. I have lots of problems. Where should I start?
Is it because I would go Tomb Raider, the original, or Rise of the Tomb Raider. I mean, both good, but obviously I think Rise of the Tomb Raider is a lot better than Tomb Raider. But that would be my pick. It's also not super long, which is not the case.
I just feel like all gamers should play through Last of Us at least once.
Oh sure.
And it's too similar to No Man's Sky.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, whole survival thing.
Yeah.
Very, very similar.
I know it's a video game. No, I was trying to think of when you go into No Man's Sky, you want a cleansed palette. And what's a good palette cleanse?
Sunset Overdrive is your answer.
Palette cleansing game, and yeah, Sunset Overdrive sounds like a good option there. Tomb Raider, I would also agree with.
Because Sunset,
not Inquisition.
Yeah.
No.
Sunset Overdrive is it's another one that's just fun, and like you're not really gonna have to think too much about it. You're just gonna play it and have a good time, and you'll be refreshed at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
What
about you, Will?
Yes. I was thinking Tomb Raider, actually. If it's Rise of the Tomb Raider.
It is Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Is it? Yeah, that's what I would say. That or Sunset Overdrive, yeah, like Eric said.
Just free right now, by the way.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
That's unbelievable. It's one of the, like you said, one of the better, or probably the best Microsoft exclusive, right?
I think it's the best in my opinion.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So there's a few suggestions from us, Jake. Derek in Chicago says, "Hey guys, I popped into a GameStop a couple weeks ago. I picked up a handful of games I've been anxious to try. I got Final Fantasy Type 0, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Dark Souls 2 for the Xbone for $30 each. Been really curious to get into the Dark Souls series, but I've been a little intimidated. After all the praise you guys give the series and the hype for Dark Souls 3, I was ready to give it a shot. I'm barely into the game, but I'm already getting a glimpse of the rewarding feeling you can get. I started Dark Souls 2 as a knight and got into the first witch's hut, but I couldn't figure out where to go. I walked through that narrow passage with the troll, but kept running in circles. I said, screw it, let me fight this guy. He obviously destroyed me, but I got a couple of hits in. Made me realize I could play smart to get him. After several tries, I took him down and then realized that wasn't even the way to go. But it got me excited about the crazy amount of unknown and exploration in front of me. Rise of the Tomb Raider is gorgeous, but you guys know that. I know Eric won't believe me, but the April update for Destiny has been enjoyable. The new content is pretty minor, but the quality of life improvements really help. They've improved the infusion system and offered a lot more ways to get your light level up. There's even a sort of score, attack, arena, horde mode activity now that is quick and fun. I'm curious if Tito has gotten into it. Last note, I have one nostalgia game I played a bunch I've never heard people talk about. It was Dragon Spirit, a top-down shooter on the NES where you upgraded your dragon with more heads for more abilities. Not sure why, but I would play this game for hours. The funny thing is, I think you guys mentioned you did this too, with the exact same albums, but I would play it with the volume down while listening to the cassette tapes of Green Day's Insomniac and Weezer's Pinkerton. Glad you finally watched Star Wars, Dan. How'd you feel when Luke killed Leia? Derek from Chicago. So, okay, yeah. Corey, you remember from Dark Souls 2 at the beginning, right? The witch's hut and the troll right there.
I do, and I do remember there being a number of ways you can run off to, right?
No, there was just the one. I mean, there's a few like branching paths right there, but like none of you couldn't advance in any of them. But there was that troll there. There was a few hidden things around that area.
Oh, okay.
But there's like a door kind of hidden.
Remember the troll?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was up on the left hand side. You had to like walk through some weeds, I think, to get to him.
One of my favorite areas in all of Dark Souls is the witch's. What's it called in? Oh no, I'm thinking of Bloodborne now. The witch's haven, witch's cove.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, Corey, but
And
I can't remember what it's called.
There's an area in Dark Souls 3 that is very similar. The Undead Settlement, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can definitely see some similarities stylistically in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's funny to hear Derek's first experience with Dark Souls because that is that is the series. Like that realization, like, oh, I can do this intelligently, but then only to realize shouldn't have gone this way.
Yeah.
It's like perfect.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So there's that. Rise of the Tomb Raider. The Destiny update. I don't know that much about Destiny, but a lot of people that I follow in the gaming world have enjoyed the updates and thought a lot of them were necessary. So
I don't know why he said that I would disagree with him. I feel like I've been the biggest Destiny defender on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's good. I loved the Taken King stuff. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So I really doubt that I'm going to try this out just because it's not Rocket League.
Right.
So I have no reason to. But yeah, I'm interested to see if Tito played it too because I know he was really big into Destiny for quite a while.
Yeah. What about you, Will? Any interest in playing more Destiny?
Yeah, I actually have a lot of interest in playing Destiny. It's just if I will is another thing.
Right.
I'm trying to play like so many things that I don't know if I want to keep playing Destiny, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because that might reoccur in games like Heroes of the Storm.
And soon to be Overwatch.
Oh man, so much Overwatch is going to get played this year.
I'm psyched for Overwatch.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm really excited you're getting it.
Oh yeah.
We're going to get a little time in there.
Hopefully. And then the nostalgia game, Dragon Spirit. Anyone familiar with Dragon Spirit?
No,
No.
that is one I am not familiar with.
What
Yeah, I've
system
never-
do we know?
NES. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one at all. And then, when Luke killed Leia in the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's
Great.
Tragic.
How did
Spoiler?
you feel when that happened, Dan?
Huh?
How did you feel when that happened?
It was tragic.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Dragon Spirit. Yes, I had this game.
Did you?
Now Corey brings it up in the thing. Yeah,
Nice.
I played Dragon Spirit.
I'll have to look it up later.
It
But
looks,
the name doesn't ring a bell.
it looks familiar.
You probably played it at Eric's house.
Could have been.
I think
cool.
I had my first bit of Star Wars information spoiled for me.
Uh-oh.
Did
Wow.
you?
Luke killed Leia.
Everyone
Anyone
knows
want
that.
to find out?
Yeah, that's common knowledge.
I had no idea. I don't care because I probably don't think I'm gonna watch it.
Well,
It's
now
all-
you have to just to see it. It's pretty incredible when it happens.
It's only a little over 2 hours of a movie. Well, you can watch it on my Voodoo account.
And he
I
kills
think
her.
I'm just gonna
Like,
go ahead, Corey.
he kills her. It's only like an hour and a half in.
Yeah, so
Asphyxiation. He puts her in a garage and turns a
Turns the car on.
turns his
Speeder.
speeder bike.
turns his Buick LeSabre on.
I think I'm just gonna start hating Star Wars just to be that guy.
Oh, you're
Just to
crazy.
be sure.
Just like I hate on Rocket League.
Which is appalling.
Yeah,
Game
it's
sucks.
embarrassing for you.
Jake in the chat wants to know if Overwatch is going to become the new hots on our podcast.
Maybe.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't
Maybe.
think so because there's not as much to it, I guess. It's just kind of
Yeah.
a run and gun shooter.
But this is also something that I feel like we'll play a couple matches like every week. I don't know.
Yeah,
Also, I was
but
thinking,
I don't think there will be things to talk about with it every week necessarily.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're right.
I was thinking about this the other day because we had said on the Division episode that was the first game that we all played together. Which would be incorrect because we all played Here's the Storm together before we did our episode on it.
That's true.
Did we say it was the first one we played together,
Yeah.
or the first one in a while?
First one
I
we
think
all
Dan
played
said-
together and talked about.
I think Dan said it's the rare occurrence, if
No.
I remember correctly.
All right. Yeah, well, I guess Heroes of the Storm's the only other one I can think of. So
Yeah.
At least in a timely fashion. You know,
Besides when we did our Tecmo Super Bowl playthrough when we first started.
that was fun.
We all played Skyrim.
Yeah. Not together.
That's true.
thinking about getting back into Skyrim. Kotaku put an article out about the biggest mods.
Yeah.
There's some mods
The
that
ci-
add
the Cities one,
yeah, like
or what is it? Keeps and holds or something like that.
yeah,
Skyrim
they're
hold.
like whole new games almost.
Yeah.
There's enough content, hundreds of quests,
Yep.
and it just looks so damn good with all the mods.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And it's easier now that a lot of that stuff is in the Steam Workshop. You don't have to tinker too much with it,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Game of the
Okay.
generation or decade? Generation or decade?
It was Generation. Last Generation.
Oh, it couldn't have been the decade because it came out 2011. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not finished with the decade yet.
Stupid game.
It's going to be right up there for that one too, though.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
Well,
Nah,
it has to
Skyrim-
be almost, doesn't it?
Skyrim 2 will come out and be better.
They're gonna Bethesda's gonna drop the Skyrim 2 bomb at E3.
They almost have to, because what else do they have?
They've got a couple things in the
Dishonored.
pipeline.
Doom.
Doom,
No,
Dishonored.
Doom's going to be out by E E3.
What's that other one they're working on?
Rage 2.
No. What the
Because
hell
all I
is
got is Dishonored in that card game.
Yeah.
it? No, you guys know. What's the other one? It's supposed to be a pretty big one.
Doom.
Battlecry?
Battleborn.
Fuck all of you. I give up.
The hell is it called?
I can't think of what you mean, Eric.
Huh?
I can't think of what you mean.
I'm gonna-
Wolfenstein?
Look it up. Yeah.
Wolfenstein. Wool.
I'm trying to
I was
look it
gonna-
up. I don't see anything.
Maybe it's not them that's making it. I'm just making a big ass of myself.
Yeah, you are.
Well, now we need to know.
Yeah.
Wait. Battlecry.
Bethesda. No.
That got canceled, I thought.
Dishonored 2. Doom. Elder Scrolls Legends. That's all I'm seeing on Wikipedia.
It must not be them.
Fallout
No,
Shelter
it's
2.
not them. It's not them. I'm thinking Witcher developers. CD Projekt Red.
Oh,
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Yes. That's what I was thinking of.
Eric, you idiot.
I know. At least I caught the mistake, and one of you didn't prove me wrong again, Corey.
We're gonna see
You,
Rage
Corey.
2.
That's
Why?
fine. Actually like Rage.
Just one
It
of my
wasn't
predictions. E3 prediction.
Great, but I liked it.
Beardless said in a fever-induced state of hysteria, he started playing Skyrim and was still bored out of his mind.
I can see that.
I definitely I don't think, for me, boring isn't the right word. It does touch on like the cadence of that game. It's just, I don't know, man. I climb up on those mountains and I just look out and I can just taste the crisp air.
Yo, Joaquin,
Crisp, cold air.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Corey. Love me some Skyrim.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
No, I don't think so, Dan. There was also a suggestion for an episode topic from Jake.
Okay.
He suggested maybe listening back to our first 4 episodes and doing a review of them, which might be kind of funny.
That would be funny. Definitely.
So
Well, we'll
keep
put it-
in the think tank.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list. So next week's episode, we decided we're all gonna go and play a game from our backlog, or play a random game just to report on for next week. We haven't come
Are
up.
we
with
going to tell each other or no?
It's
what
up to
we're
you. It doesn't matter to me.
I'm keeping mine a secret.
Can mine be Hearthstone?
Oh my
No.
God. Well, mine's going to be Rocket League, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
There you go. Mine will be Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
Just come on.
No,
So
we'll get some good stuff.
I'm gonna play Fallout 4.
Well, that doesn't count. I've added a bunch of games to my Steam library with the Humble Bundle purchases, so
Nice.
I have a ton of new stuff I could try out.
Does Hyper Light Drifter count for me since I haven't played it?
Sure.
Yeah,
That would count. Yeah, it's
That's
got to be
not-
something you haven't played.
yeah. That's another game people were complaining about wanting to have an easy mode in. Come on, people. Work for something.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not
Don't
easy.
play it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to enjoy your video games, right, guys?
No, that's not.
Those.
It's, if the game is
Out
tuned
for it.
around a certain difficulty for a reason, as a design choice,
Yeah.
people who don't want to sink the time in to learn the mechanics or to get even decent at the mechanics, it's just not a game for you.
It's like asking.
Don't play it.
It's like saying, "Can I have the half-hour version of the new Star Wars movie,
Exactly.
please?"
Severely abridged version. Or the 30-page picture.
Game of Thrones.
Picture. Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, whatever, what have you.
That sounds all right.
Yeah,
No,
I was
it
going to say, that
doesn't.
sounds like it's right up my alley.
As long as the artwork was nice.
As long as there was a lot of green, I'd be all right with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for episode 248 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Well,
Query.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.